Case number 592 on the calendar in the matter of White versus Hensley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, ma'am. Have a seat, please.
Mr. and Mrs. White, Mr. Hensley is whose stepfather?
Mine.
Yours. According to your complaint, your stepfather and mother were living in Alaska, and your stepfather was looking for work in the state where you live, which is, I believe, Oregon?
Yep.
So he asked if he could come and stay with you. The agreement was that once he started to work, and I assume brought your mother to Oregon, that he would start paying you rent. And he found work at some point. You loaned him some money to go back to Alaska to get his tools and some other things. Came back, that job didn't last very long, but then he stayed with you for 6 months and paid no rent. So you are suing him for rent for the 6 or so months that he lived with you, and for the plane ticket, because according to your complaint, at this point, he is divorcing your mother. Mr. Hensley says that there was never an agreement for rent. He stayed there because you were family, and in addition, you kept some of his property, and he is counterclaiming. Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is this lady?
This is my ex-wife from 27 years ago.
Why is she here?
Mark called her and told her on the 30th of December that he was going to bury me, and he had thousands of dollars to do it with.
Okay. Okay. Mr. White, I'd like you to tell me when your stepfather came to Oregon to stay with you.
Middle of November.
Tell me what the conversation was that you had with him from Alaska that precipitated his coming to Oregon.
It was just with my mother. She, you know, he needed work, and they were down, and so she suggested he come down here and look for work.
When did you have a conversation about rent?
Well, when he first come down, it was, you know, and that's, he suggested, and my mother suggested, you know, hey, once we get on your feet, we'll pay you back for everything.
I don't want to hear that. I want to hear the specific terms of the contract that you recall specifically, Mr. White, while you're testifying under oath. Do we understand each other?
The specific terms of the contract were...
And exactly when they happened and what the conversation was, not your synopsis.
Well, I
Do you
lose
understand?
there because I can't tell you exactly when it happened. I mean, we had these
that's unfortunate,
conversations.
sir. Oh,
Yeah.
that's unfortunate that you can't tell me when it transpired. Because if one is seeking to enforce an oral contract, it's your obligation to be able to tell me when the contract was made, what the words were that made the contract. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, when he first got down here, he made the point that, you know, hey, once we get going here, you know, we'll pay you back. We'll make this right. If we have to sell the house up there to do it, we'll do it. I mean, but, you know, we didn't sit down and have a 1 hour
Well, you
contract.
tell me, Mr. White, when you allege that you had a conversation with Mr. Hensley regarding the specific amount of rent he was to pay.
We didn't. It was he would just pay us back for everything we put out for him.
So where did you get the amount of $200 a month?
It's just taking a general amount of what it cost us to have him, and so we did it over a 5-month period, even though we paid for things for 14 months.
Mr. White, I'm sorry. I can't enforce that kind of a verbal contract. So now I'll hear about the plane ticket.
Well, we bought him 2 plane tickets. You know, his original ticket to come down, and then a ticket to go back up in December because he had to get all his tools to come down and work.
What was the specific amount of the plane ticket that you sent him to come down?
One was $745, and the other was $230.
Now, the one $230 was the one-way ticket for him to come from Alaska to
the original
you.
down.
And how did you purchase that ticket? On a credit card?
Credit card.
Who asked you to purchase that ticket?
He did.
Is that right, sir?
No, ma'am.
Who asked you?
His mother.
And where were you?
I was probably out in the shop working when all this took place. I had a shop next to the house in Alaska.
Where did you think that the $230 came from to purchase that airline ticket?
I had found out that he paid for it.
When you came down to Oregon, did you say to Mr. White, I'm going to pay you back for it?
No, ma'am. On September 11th, during the big bombing, Mark and Diane and their children were visiting us in Alaska, and they shut the airports down, and they couldn't fly out the next day, so they borrowed our Bronco and brought it down. And this ticket was purchased by them so I could come down and take the Bronco back to Alaska.
Did you have his car?
No, I took my mother's Bronco.
Whether it was your mother's Bronco or his Bronco, you took their car down.
I brought it down with the stipulation I was trying to sell it for her.
Why didn't they sell it there?
There's no market up in Alaska.
It's dead up there. I couldn't even sell it down here. I mean, this is not a nice Bronco.
It's a 1988
Well, why did you
Bronco.
drive it down?
Because we had to get down. There was no other way to get down.
You had to get down because of the September
Yes.
11th crisis.
Yeah, there was not a rental
Okay.
car to be found north of L.A.
And what about the $745 to go back and get your tools, sir?
I had been offered a job, and Mark offered to pay for the plane ticket.
Well, how did he know about your need for the plane ticket unless you came to ask him, Mr. Hensley? This is not going to be all one-sided, sir. I want to explain that to you,
No, ma'am.
okay?
Okay.
I don't like people who act like pigs.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
She was having a drinking problem that I'd been working with for years, and it just came to a head finally.
You didn't find somebody else, did you?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's just be honest there.
And later today,
My sister assaulted me, and she left me in the streets of Oregon to defend for myself.
But why are you wreaking havoc with your family?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Mark and Diane White claim that Mark's stepdad, James Hensley, owes for a loan to move and for unpaid rent. James says the couple offered their financial help.
Why should he make you that kind of a gift, Mr. Hensley?
Because he's a nice person.
And what about you?
I also am.
You're not if you say that this $745 was a gift that you had no intention of repaying once you started to work, sir.
I had intentions of paying it back. Yeah.
Perfect. Then you're
Eventually.
going to do just that, pay him back for that plane ticket, $745. Now, what property do you say he has of yours?
An Ingersoll Rand
Can I
one-inch
see,
drive
can I
ranch.
see,
and
please see the list
and,
that he's got here?
my watch and ring.
When did you decide that you were going to divorce Mr. White's mother?
The first week in November of 2002.
Why?
She was having a drinking problem that I'd been working with for years, and it just came to a head finally.
You didn't find somebody else, did you?
Yes, ma'am.
And let's just be honest there, okay? You have his tools.
I don't have anything except for two W-2s, and this is the first we heard of this first time 3 days ago.
Men's diamond and gold wedding ring. You have that?
Why would we have his wedding ring?
I have no idea.
Why would he take it off if he
I
was
have no
still
idea.
married?
I have no idea where he would leave it.
Possibly I can explain that.
I'd like to hear it.
Shortly after his mother and I decided to get a divorce, she told me that she had taken my ring and watch out of my drawer beside the bed and put it in a box and put some stamps on it and sent it to Mark.
Sue the post office.
Yes, ma'am.
Set of jumbo box and wrenches. Do you have that?
We don't have anything else that I know of. If he thinks he has something there, he can come look.
Okay, fine.
I don't-
Then he can come and look. Go-
Wait, we can get a neutral third party to come look. I don't want this person in my house
Well,
again.
then-
My children have already been traumatized.
Well,
This
then
is a
listen-
man they called Graham.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
I
Take your
don't
children
want
out for an hour. Have a police officer come with him so
Oh,
we can
that'd
look
be
for his
fine.
tools.
Yeah,
Take your
'cause-
children out just as long as there's notice. In any event, you owe him $745, and I've just cited on the counterclaim. Go and find your tools and your jewelry.
What about
Sue
all the
post
rest of
office.
this?
What?
Well, I mean, we give him cash, which I have receipts for.
Listen to me, Mr. White and Mrs. White. I understand that you are annoyed, and I understand that you are angry with him, and you have a perfect right to be, to feel as if you were taken advantage of. You felt as if your mother was going to come down with him to Oregon and make a new life. Your mother is very hurt. Your mother is very upset at his behavior. That doesn't mean lawsuit. Do you understand? You had
No,
no...
this has nothing to do with that.
Fine.
This has
Good.
to do with-
And I'm telling you that you had no verbal contract that had the required elements of a contract, which is the specifics. Do you understand?
What about the cell phone he
It's a
took from
circus.
us?
It's a circus.
What was your arrangement? He
We
took
got
a
3 other
cell.
lawsuits planned.
I said that I would let him use my phone, and he said he would pay us back.
Did you say that you would pay him back if he
No,
used the
ma'am.
cell phone?
No,
Such
ma'am.
a leech.
He is.
We got a 61-year-old kid, we
Leech.
dependent.
Listen to me. If you did it as family, and if your mother came down, and if they lived together happily ever after, you would have been very happy to get your plane ticket back.
Yeah, well, I guess we didn't realize he was having an affair
listen,
with this other woman.
Listen to me, Mr. White. What you're suggesting to me is most of what he earned would go back to pay you back. That's what you're suggesting to me. That was never the intent until he decided he wanted out of this marriage. And then you felt
the-
as if you
no,
were taken
no.
advantage of.
The-
That's what
the
I find. In
intent
any
was
event,
he was
judgment
supposed
for
to
the
be sending it
plaintiff
home.
in the amount of $745. That's on record.
You know, excused. You may step out.
Well, the grandchildren and I get along pretty good. I don't know what the future holds. From the looks of things, not very good right now.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Morrow versus Morrow. Step forward, please.
18-year-old high school student Stephanie Morrow is suing her sister, hairstylist Wendy Morrow, for the return of child support received on her behalf. Stephanie claims Wendy continued to receive money after she had moved from her home.
Ms. Morrow, the defendant is your sister.
Correct.
And it is your claim that for a period of time, recently, when you were still under 18, you lived with her. You had some trouble at home. You moved in with your sister.
Yes.
And she was collecting child support for you from both your mother and your father.
Correct.
And then you had a disagreement with your sister. You left, and it is your claim that she collected child support even during the time that she was not taking care of you. You want that money back.
Correct.
Your sister says that that is not true, that she collected only 2 checks when you weren't there, and those checks were retroactive checks for money that had been owed to her for the time that you were, in fact, living there.
Yes, ma'am.
During what period of time did you live with your sister?
I lived with my sister from August of 2000 until July 14th of 2002.
Is that right?
No.
When did she live with you?
August 99
8/99.
until September 1st, or that what's that weekend?
Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, the Labor Day weekend. That weekend.
Your Honor, I have here the initial shelter order from when I was placed in the care of my sister, and it states here that the initial shelter order was placed on August 31st of 2000.
Had you lived there before?
No.
I might be wrong.
There you go. Okay. What about through Labor Day weekend?
Your Honor, on July 14th, 2002, my sister assaulted me in a car, and she left me in the streets of Staten, Oregon, to defend for myself. And from July until the end of August, I lived on the streets on my own.
August of 2000 to July of 2002. And what were the support arrangements, Miss Morrow?
Well, my dad is to pay her mother's to pay $200 a month. That was between her mother and I. And our dad was to pay $335 a month, and that was through the state, Oregon State.
Okay. The support money that you were receiving from her mother, I assume, was terminated, stopped coming.
I didn't receive a check the month that she was not with me, no.
Fine. That's not what you're talking about. You're talking about the check from your father?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the check from my father.
Okay. How many months do you allege your father sent checks to your sister when you weren't there?
9 months, Your Honor.
Which 9 months?
July, August, September, October, November, and December of 2002, January, February, March of, until March of 2003.
Okay. I'll hear you.
Okay. I have paperwork here stating how many checks that I've received since I've had my sister. And I have a total of 13 checks, I believe. Make that 15 checks that have been received in the total amount of time that I have had my sister.
Let me see the paperwork that you have. Let's see if I can deal with this relatively quickly, because I think I know what happened. She was supposed to have received $6,700.
Yes.
She received less than that,
Yes.
$3,787. Right?
Correct.
So there's $3,000 that she did not receive.
No, the child support that I'm suing her for is the child support she received for the time that I was there. On August 31st of 2002, there was a telephonic hearing with my father through the child support district.
Yes.
Where I was not with Wendy, and she claimed that I was, and if she would have told them that I was not with her at that time, they would have stopped sending her child support, but she did not. She acted as though I was with her, and so the child support continued.
You have a court order that says that? Can I
yes.
see a court order? Because other than that, that's merely hearsay. Who is this person?
This is my guardian, Terry Jury.
Right here.
It's
I don't know.
Supposed to be at the top of the page.
So what happened, your father was giving you money directly, is what he said, not her. Your father's position was that he didn't owe the kind of money that child support said he did.
yes.
Because during the time prior to when a support order was actually entered, he was giving you money directly by check.
Yes.
Your father's position with child support enforcement was that he should be given credit for that money. And child support enforcement, which already conducted a hearing on that, said no. He can. Listen to me. Sit down. I didn't ask you to stand up. So I want to know, Miss Morrow, now that I've taken care of that, you went to live with your sister. You lived with your sister for 2 years. You lived with your sister because your mother threw you out. That was the reason. Clear. You're not living with your mother now. You're not living with your father now. Now you're living with somebody else who says that they're your guardian.
They are my. She is.
I don't know how she's related to you. How is she related to you?
She is not related to me.
Fine. So now you're living with a biological stranger who's your guardian, who you want to get your money from now on until you're 21 years old. But why are you wreaking havoc with your family?
Because, Your Honor, this isn't the first time that my sister has fraudulently taken people's money.
What are you, a monitor? Are you a monitor?
No.
You went to live with her. You lived with her for 2 years at a time when you were in trouble. Why is it that you are creating such a difficult situation for your whole family?
I'm not creating a difficult situation for my whole family.
Oh, you are. You are. You're bringing in your mother, you're bringing in your father, you're bringing in her father, you're bringing in the courts. Eventually, she's going to get money for taking care of you. You're a big girl. You should have a job and take care of yourself. But why are you involving after people did nothing but be nice to you? Especially her. She took you in. She had no obligation to take you in. And I guarantee you, at the moment that she took you in, for the first week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, she wasn't getting any money. Because it takes time for the courts to get together and to get money. So I would suggest, madam, that you rethink, because you're not a baby anymore. She took care of you without compensation for a long time. She doesn't look like she's rolling in dough. Sounds to me, madam, in your 18 years, you've created enough trouble. Grow up. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She's ruined so many people's lives in our family, and none of them would take her.
Well, considering the trouble that she's caused many people and the amount of money that she's taken from people, it wasn't very difficult, because sometime or another somebody has to pay for what they've done.
Thanks to God, I still love her very much, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't be able to look at her, honestly, because I've given and given, and she just took.
A liar's a liar, and God knows the truth.
Morning, Judge. You may be seated, folks. Have seats.
Mr. Cameraman, it is your claim that the defendants, both father and son, had you falsely arrested. You want to be reimbursed for that false arrest, bail money, attorney's fees, pain and suffering, aggravation, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Beck and Master Beck say that they absolutely were within their rights to have you arrested because you did, in fact, put your hands on one of them and threaten the other. So that's what this case is about. How do you know each other?
I didn't know them prior to this. The way that we came in contact with each other is I was driving my car and going to my house to pick up some tools to do some work on some of my rental properties, and Master Beck was parked blocking the right-of-way.
How was he blocking the right-of-way?
He was parked in an alleyway. We live in Newport Beach, which is a very small beach community that has an alleyway to get to the homes.
Okay, so you have to drive through a common alleyway in order to get to all of the homes.
That's true.
Okay. What were you doing there, Stephen?
I was loading my surfboards on top. My car was still on, so I wasn't fully parked. But
well, the car was stopped, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was out standing on my tire. Oh.
When I want a whole story, I'll ask you.
Okay.
Other than that, if you can answer me just the questions, 1 or 2 words will be enough. So the car was, in fact, stopped because you were loading something onto the car.
Yes.
So what happened?
First of all, I didn't observe any surfboards. I had motioned to him to move.
Me move and pull out of the driveway.
Yeah, just to get out of the way so I could get to where I was
in
going.
order to pull out of the way, he had to go through the alleyway someplace else.
Yes, just pull in front of actually the home that he was in front of at the alleyway. He could have pulled into the street, and there was an area to park that he could have been fine there, or pull back where he wanted to. This is common.
Just a second.
Okay, sorry.
So you could have loaded your surfboards by pulling into where your house was.
Yes.
Okay. So he didn't move.
That's correct.
And what did you do?
I motioned to him to move. He acknowledged I was there and then walked around like, tough luck, I'm going to do as I please. So I thought, okay, I'll get out of the car and approach him. Maybe he'll realize that he needs to move.
I'm bigger than he is.
Yeah, a little bit. So I went up to him. I thought that would do it. That didn't do it. And so I said things like, do you need help to put the key in the ignition so you can turn the car on and move the car? And then his girlfriend started screaming at me.
Your other girlfriend? What was she saying?
She was just screaming, leave him alone. You can't do, just unintelligible things.
Well, what were you doing to him, Mr. Cameraman?
I was actually doing nothing except saying, do you need somebody to show you how to... I was being facetious.
When I ask you to tell me what happened, it's not going to be one of, and then I said, and then he said, and then I said, and then he said, because I don't believe that. Do you understand?
I can understand that, yes, Your Honor.
So, let's backtrack a little bit. You got out of the car after Stephen over here was dissing you.
Yes.
Showing off to his girlfriend.
Exactly.
Because he's a kid.
Yes.
Certainly not doing the right thing, Stephen. When someone pulled up behind you in the car, the right thing to do was to have gotten in the car with your girlfriend and move the car out of the way so that that person could drive through the driveway. Do you understand?
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I motioned him, just 1 minute, just like you do, 1 minute, so I could buckle it, so I can move it. It takes 30 seconds, and it's no big deal.
Stephen, this whole thing didn't start because of 30 seconds, Stephen. If you live until you're 100, you're not going to be as smart as I am. It's just the way that God crafted you. There's a certain common sense to life. I understand it. I can't do certain things, but there's a certain common sense that I have. I'm not saying that he did the right thing, Mr. Cameraman, because he's still going to give me, and then I said, and then he said. Right? But I'm telling you that you did the wrong thing. Now, Mr. Cameraman, let's get back to and then I said. Go ahead.
I was yelling at him and trying to get him to move the car, and I was actually shocked to even know that anybody else was in the car, and then I heard her screaming, leave him alone, and then I realized since she was escalating everything, I decided I'm going to leave this alone and go back to my car. I went back to my car, turned the engine off, locked it, and proceeded to my house. As I got halfway across the street, Mr. Stephen Beck then decided to get into his vehicle and then move his vehicle to the spot that I said that he could move to that would work. So I realized he had done that. Then I went immediately back to my car and moved my car and put it in a legal parking spot near my house. At that point, I figured everything was over. I was loading things into my car. I made comments. They made comments about things. I yelled and said...
You mean that you were yelling at each other?
We were yelling at each other. Across the street, the girlfriend started saying, come on, hit us. We can have you thrown in jail. Come on, hit us. My mom's a lawyer. I can have you thrown in jail. And I said, well, yeah, I know that. I'm not going to touch anybody.
No, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so that was a lie as well. I went back into my house, came back out, and they had called the police. And Stephen had made up a wild story that I had choked him and smashed him against the car.
Okay. So, and that's why you were arrested. You have a copy of the complaint?
Yes.
May I see it, please?
Yes.
Oh, Byrd, there, you know that pesky fly that comes in here every once in a while? It's back. Will you sit down, Tony, for a second? Come up here. What's your name?
My name? Michelle Sabaris.
Michelle. Okay, Michelle. What did you see?
I saw this gentleman, or Stephen, was putting his surfboards on top. He was standing on his tire, buckling his boards. Brett came around through the alley, drove in, parked right behind, and honked his horn. And Stephen gestured him 1 second, and then right away, I see him because I'm looking back out of the back. I'm in the passenger seat. He starts getting furious in his car. What I saw a gesture of the finger. Then he gets out of the car immediately, comes right up to Stephen, and their size is different, and I see he comes up to him viciously and goes like this.
Doesn't hit him.
Doesn't hit him, not right then. Next thing I know, I see Stephen against the side of the door, the back door, and Brett had his hands on his neck. And then he opened the door, tried pushing him in the car, was trying to get him so he could move his car. And then from there on...
And you're sitting in the passenger seat all this time?
Yes, and I'm in the passenger seat, and when I see him put his hands on his neck, that's when I start yelling, yes. And I got scared, and he wasn't a minor, but what I yelled, because I thought he was going to beat him up, I yelled, "Get your hands off him, he's a minor."
You mean if he was older, it would have been okay?
Well, no, but their size is considerable, and you know...
He's always going to be that size, right?
Right.
Probably.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't believe you, because that's my job, because I've been doing this job for a very long time, because you're his mother, and I don't believe you. Do you understand?
No.
Well, I'm sorry, I explained it as best as I can. Mull it over for a while, maybe you'll get it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Brett Kammerman says he was falsely arrested when Stephen Beck accused him of assault. Stephen says that during an argument, Brett choked him.
Anybody else witness this? Who are you?
I'm Patty Kammerman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Brett's mother.
Where were you when this happened?
I was waiting across the street for Brett to come and pick up tools. And I never saw Brett touch him, push him, or
Well, what
do
did you
any of those
see?
things. I saw just what Brett had said, that he talked to him and he yelled at him, and everybody was very loud and yelling. And Brett went like this and got back in his car, turned the car off, came across the street.
And when you saw all of that, when you saw all of that yelling and all of that gesturing, did you stay in your house?
No, I wasn't in the house.
You just waited?
I was outside.
Did
waiting.
you come across the street to where they were?
No, I was.
Why not?
Because I didn't know what was going on. And I was just standing there.
Well, you're his mother. Maybe he was going to be in trouble. Maybe somebody's going to take a gun at her.
No,
What?
I knew that there was no problem. This happens dozens of times during the summer, where somebody blocks the driveway, somebody else yells, everybody moves out of the way, and it's over with.
Have a seat, Ms. Cameron.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Your Honor, she was inside the house at the time. She was not outside. I made sure of that because I looked for witnesses to witness it. I wanted witnesses.
Okay, your mother saw nothing. I don't believe her. I don't believe her. Okay, so then the police came and you were arrested. Even she knows she's not telling me the truth. Then the police came and you were arrested?
Yes.
Now, what happened with Tony Beck? Stand up, Mr. Beck. Go ahead. By the way, if there are no other witnesses, what are all you people doing here?
They're my character witnesses.
I don't need the character witnesses. I've determined you're a character. Go ahead.
After I was bailed out of jail, I went to Becky and Donnie's house.
Who's Becky and Donnie?
Becky and Donnie are neighbors of mine.
Raise Becky and Donnie. And Becky and Donnie here?
My grandchildren.
Your grandchildren?
My brother-in-law and sister-in-law.
Okay.
And I talked with them, and they have bad blood on this side of the family. And they said, you know, if you would, please leave us out of it. We don't want to have to come to court. We already don't get along with them. And the dad, it's a situation where they didn't want to be involved, and so I didn't involve them.
You went down to talk to them. After you talked to them, what happened with Tony?
While I was talking to Becky, some man came running through the house and confronted me and said, "Keep your hands off my son." And I said, you know, you really should get your facts straight. Your son's lying to people about this. I didn't do anything, and I don't even know why I was taken to jail.
Okay. So nothing, according to you, nothing happened with Tony?
Exactly.
Okay.
But then Tony filed a temporary restraining order against me,
Well, that
lying to the authorities, saying that I had threatened him.
Not lying.
Now, why don't you tell me your version,
Thank you,
Mr. Beck, of the events?
I came through the house and I was off because the confrontation he had with my son. And the words I used when I came up to him is I said, "Why are you manhandling my son?" And he asked, who are you? And Becky says, "He's the father of Stephen." He said, "Get out of here. I don't like you. Get out of here." So and Becky asked me to leave. I left. As I was leaving, as far as his taunting, when I was leaving, just his character, he says, "What's your name?" I says, "Don knows my name." And he says, "Oh, don't even know your own name?" And this is the same type of antics that he used with the other kids in the neighborhood as far as taunting them.
Mr. Beck.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you file an application for a restraining order against him?
The restraining order was
what
filed.
I'm asking you, sir.
The restraining order was filed due to a phone call that he made to my father-in-law. He said he had the intentions
Just a second. Did you make a phone call to his father-in-law?
His father-in-law and I were very good friends. We both are real estate investors. We'd been friends for a long time. I wanted to call him and let him know that whatever stories are going around weren't...
Just a second.
Do you
have an affidavit from your relative?
Yes, ma'am. This is the report that my relative went down to the police
I'd like
office.
to see what the affidavit says from your relative, because that formed the basis of your application for a protective order. Well, I'd like to see it. This is the statement that is attributed to you, that the victim, whoever your relative is, came to the police front desk to report an annoying phone call he had received. The victim states that on this 20th of July, 2002, his grandson was battered by the suspect cameraman. The victim states that on the same day at approximately 16:30 hours, he received a call from Mr. Cameraman who said, "This is Brett. I know you know I am a martial arts expert. And just to let you know, I intend to sue the Beck family for false arrest. I want to assure you that to your grandchildren, I represent no harm or threat." That is the conversation that is attributed to you.
It's partially true.
Just a minute, what do you want?
I wanted to tell you that I was listening to the phone call.
I don't believe a word you say.
Why not?
Because I don't believe a word you say. I don't believe that you either went out and saw what was happening from outside your house, madam, or that you heard this conversation. I don't believe you. Because that's my job. Because I've been doing this job for a very long time. Because you're his mother, and I don't believe you. I don't believe that he is telling me exactly what happened with this young man. I believe that this gentleman so far had no cause to file for a restraining order against him. No cause. He had no cause. That's clear. But I don't believe your version of the events with Stephen. And therefore, I don't believe you saw what you say you saw. Do you understand?
No.
Well, I'm sorry. I explained it as best as I can. Mull it over for a while. Maybe you'll get it. My question to you, Mr. Cameraman, is what happened during this case when it was in court?
The situation that occurred is I was starting a new corporation.
Don't give me your whole story, Mr. Cameraman. I don't want to hear a whole story about you didn't want this whole thing to drag on.
That's the story. That's what I was going to tell you. If that's not something...
Listen, how come I read your mind?
Well, it was a donation that I made to it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I've been here a long time, sir. I've been doing this job for a long time. What happened with the case, Mr. Cameraman?
I was told it takes a while for this to go, that there are going to be 4 or 5 pretrial hearings.
And?
And I told my attorney that I was tired of this, that it didn't happen, that they are lying, and it's not fair that I have to deal with this for so long. Can you get it taken care of quickly or more quickly?
Mm-hmm.
And so they
your
said...
attorney said to you, I can take care of it more quickly. This is what you're going to have to do.
If you make a donation to the Emergency Victims Fund, then they will let it go, because we have to give something to the DA so he feels like he won. And so at that time, I listened to the attorney and made the donation.
That was a mistake,
It was a mistake.
Because
and at the time, I asked
a $1,000 donation, whatever it is, whether it's in the form of restitution, whether it's in the form of, listen, I'm not going to be able to successfully meet these charges and I just want the whole thing over, whether it's in the form of, I'm too busy to continue with this, someone who feels as if they have been wrongly arrested, forced to post bail, handcuffed, et cetera, does not make a donation of $1,000 to make the charges go away, which is what you did. So you have no case.
Well, I agree with you on that.
You have no case. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. So what do you want me to do? You made a mistake.
Okay, well, at the time, I had never been in a criminal situation. I listened to the criminal attorney. I will call him and let him know.
What do you want me to do, Mr. Cameraman?
I'm telling you what the situation is, and what I'm asking you to do is that
You're an intelligent man, Mr. Cameraman.
Thank you.
You are an intelligent man. An intelligent man knows that when you pay money into the criminal justice system, it is almost a signal, at least it is some indication, that you feel as if you are in some way wrong. That's the way it's interpreted, Mr.
I can understand
Cameraman.
your interpretation.
That's the way it's interpreted,
However,
sir.
that's not the case. And
well,
that's why I brought character witnesses.
I'm not interested in your character witnesses, sir. And I don't believe your mother. I believe that you overreacted to this young man, and I do believe that you put your hands on him. I don't believe that you hit him.
You believe that I put my hands on him?
Yes. I don't believe that you hit him. I don't believe that you hurt him. I believe that you lost your temper when he didn't move that car fast enough. And I think he was showing off for his girlfriend.
He was.
And I think that what he was doing was rude and inconsiderate, and he's 19 years old, and you're a lot older, and you should have cooled it, let it pass.
That's what I
did.
did.
And you didn't.
I did
And
do
you
that.
didn't. He, of course, had no right to bring you to court for the restraining order, because you had no grounds for a restraining order, Tony Beck. You behaved badly, sir. You can't act like a brat. When you act like a brat, things happen. Sometimes you're going to meet up with people who are bigger and stronger, and you can't anticipate what their mental state is going to be, so you have to be respectful of other people's time. You have to be respectful of other people's property. You want to load your car, you don't pull your car unless you absolutely have to in a place that inhibits somebody else from getting by. That's just being respectful. That doesn't give him license to overreact to you, because he could have done exactly what he did 5 minutes later, which is to pull his car into another spot, leave it, and go across the street to get his tools, or at least that's what he was trying to do, to go across the street to get his other tools. Anyway, you have no case, Mr. Cameron. You paid $1,000. $1,000 is some indication of guilt. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
All over Newport Beach, you have this type of situation, and most people are respectful and move out of the way. It's just one of those things. You say, how long are you going to be? Can you move out of the way? They say a couple minutes. You say, no problem. You sit. If they thumb their nose at you, you just go, you know, come on, have some class.
Okay, grab me by the throat, like so, but one arm here, and slam me against the car. And then he tried to force me into my car to drive it away.
Stephen Beck had to lie and fill out an arrest warrant to have me arrested to show off for his girlfriend.
Brett is like the, he's like a second-grade schoolyard bully. Most everything he said is a lie and fabricated. He's not telling the truth.
Yeah, I have hard feelings towards a family that lies about things and continues to lie about things, absolutely.
He's a grown man, but he's incapable of what it takes to act like a mature adult.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss Wessel, according to your complaint, your son, I assume this adorable little boy here, was injured while he was in the care of Miss Smith, who was doing you a favor and babysitting for you. Miss Smith says that she really never agreed for him to stay, that he had an accident playing with one of her older children.
Yes.
So why don't you tell me first when this happened?
On August 10th of '02.
And where were you going?
It happened approximately 8 o'clock, and I was going out with my boyfriend to celebrate his new job.
And when had you made arrangements with the defendant to babysit for your son?
I had stopped at the lake at Picker Lake.
Well, I want you to look at me when you're speaking.
I stopped at the lake approximately 6 o'clock.
Does she live at the lake?
No, but she was at the lake at that time, and I seen her car, so I did stop, and I talked to her a little bit about it, and she said, well, why don't you come over later and talk to me about it.
Tell
and I
me
was like,
what
okay.
you said to her and what she said to you.
I said, Irene, Max got a new job today. Do you think you might be able to watch Trav later? And she said, well, I might be able to. Why don't you come over later?
And what did you do?
And later on, I went over there with my mother, my sister, my boyfriend Maxwell, and Travis. I told her if she could not watch him, then I would have Carolyn Stacy babysit.
Who's Carolyn Stacy?
Carolyn Stacy is my cousin. But Irene said, no, it would not be a problem because I have watched her kids umpteen different times.
Is that what she said to you?
Yes.
Ah, don't think so.
That's not true.
No. You want to know why it's not true? A, because you didn't say it in your complaint. You made this whole story up, this whole second part of the story up as you were going along. So why don't you go back a little bit? Because if you write a complaint...
I do have a police report, ma'am.
You have a police report where you say in the police report that you told her that if you can't babysit, then my cousin will babysit for me? You have that in your police report? Just the answer is yes or no.
Yes.
Let me see it. No, no, no. What do you mean, yes? There is absolutely nothing in here about your cousin. Show me here where you told the police Caroline will babysit for him. Show me. Maybe I'm missing it.
Okay, so it's not in there. So I missed a detail.
Can I have it back, please, Bert? Thank you.
But my mother was there when I dropped Travis off.
Miss Smith, why don't you give me your version of how this little boy got dropped off at your house?
Okay, like she said, we were at the lake. She stopped. I told her no, that we weren't going to be responsible for kids that night because we were having a get-together at our house. She said, well, would your son be willing to babysit? Well, my oldest one's 17. I said, I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Well, she come over, and he said, absolutely not. $7 isn't worth it. This little boy is very rambunctious.
Just a second. She had offered your 17-year-old $7? Is
Yes.
that what you're telling me? Go ahead.
So then she asked me. I said no again. She asked my husband. My husband said no again. And then she said, well, what about Ryan and Adreno, which are two minor children that aren't even of age?
How old are they?
He was 12 at the time.
That's not
and
true.
the other one was and the other one was 10 at the time. So finally she says, all right, Travis, get in the car. They got in the car, they left, and where our property line's at, we were in the back, so you have to go down a trail. You can't see the house from the trail. And the next thing I know, half hour later, my son Ryan and her son Travis is walking up the backyard. I said, what, is Tammy up in the house? And he said, no, we didn't even see Tammy.
What happened? Step up.
Come on, Ryan.
You're 12?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you find Travis?
He was in the house.
Travis was in the house?
Yes.
How did he get into the house?
He probably walked in.
Travis, how'd you get into the house? Do you remember?
No.
Okay. So you found him in the house and you were walking on the trail. You don't know how he got into the house?
No.
Okay, sit down. What happened next?
So I figured, okay, well, I've got a baby, so what am I going to do? And I don't know, around 9 o'clock, the kids came up, said they were hungry, so I went in the house to get some brats out of the fridge, put them in the pan. Had just got them in and had just started the fire on the stove, and Ryan comes bringing Travis in, and he was crying, and it was a fishing arrow where it's barbed at the ends. There's 2 points that come out, and it was one of the end barbed ones that came in here and out here. It was not the top of the arrow.
You mean from a fishing rod?
Yeah. They were supposed to be out catching fireflies. I gave them each a canning jar. It was within 5 minutes of them going outside.
Step up here. How did he get this hook in his finger?
I don't know. We were catching fireflies. I turned around. He was crying with an arrow through his finger.
Where was the fishing equipment?
In the garage.
And is that where you were catching fireflies?
We were by there, yeah.
Okay. Are you Travis? You're cute. You want to come up here and talk to me? What? Is that better? How old are you, Travis?
6.
6? Are you smart?
Yeah.
Do you sometimes get into trouble?
Yeah.
Do you remember when you got the fishing hook caught in your finger?
Yeah.
Did it hurt?
Yeah.
Look at me. You know who I am, right? What's my name?
Judge Judy.
Right. You know you always tell me the truth, right? How did you get that fishing hook in your finger?
Ryan put it in my finger.
Ryan put it in your finger? How did he do that?
He throwed it, and it went through my finger.
He threw it. Just one hook? And he threw it at you? Is that what happened? He must have very good aim.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was trying to stab it into the ground. How'd you get your finger in there? Did he tell you to hold down the ground so he could put the arrow in the ground?
Yeah.
Is that what he told you? You hold down the ground so I can put the arrow in it?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Tammy Wessel says her son was injured while in the care of Irene Smith. Tammy claims Irene's son, 12-year-old Ryan Needlinger, stuck him with an arrow.
You like Ryan?
Sometimes.
Is he usually nice to you?
Yeah.
He threw the arrow, and it landed where? Show me where.
Wait here.
Did he take you back to his mom's?
Yeah.
Did she ask you what happened?
Yeah.
What did you tell her?
Ryan put an arrow in my finger.
Is that what he told you?
No.
Yeah.
Look at me.
He said he was trying to stab it into the ground.
Was he trying to stab it into the ground?
Yeah.
So he was trying to throw it into the ground, and it accidentally went into your finger. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
So it was an accident. Is that right?
Yeah.
He didn't mean to hurt you.
No.
No, of course not. Well, that's what I didn't understand, because you first said he stabbed me in the finger with an arrow, and I said, oh, that's terrible that Ryan would do such a terrible thing, but it was just an accident. He was stabbing it into the ground. And how did your finger get underneath there?
I don't know.
If he was trying to stab it into the ground, how'd you get your finger in there? Did he tell you to hold down the ground so he could put the arrow in the ground?
Yeah.
Is that what he told you? You hold down the ground so I can put the arrow in it?
That's what he wanted me to do. I said, nah, no.
What did he want you to do?
Put my finger on the ground, and I said, no.
Is that right? Cute. Bird, find him his chair. He's really very cute and quite imaginative.
How you doing, man?
So, Miss Smith, your son brings him back to your house, and you tried to reach somebody according to your answer, and you finally reached his grandmother.
Well, that wasn't till way, way later. I tried every bar I could find to ask for her, and she wasn't at any of them. So I called the ambulance. They said that what had happened was...
Whatever happened, you needed an ambulance, he was taken over to the hospital.
We get there, they can't do anything. They took x-rays, couldn't do anything without a relative's permission. Well, she was upset at me because I got a hold of the paternal grandmother. That's the only relative I knew.
I don't care what she was upset with. You tell me what you did.
I got a hold of the paternal grandmother, asked her if she could come up there. Travis had x-rays, but they couldn't remove the arrow until she was up there to sign for medical release.
So she came up and she signed.
And then she asked why Tammy didn't ask her to babysit.
Whatever. Now, when was the next time you heard from Tammy?
4:30 in the morning.
That's not true.
Shh. Did she call you?
No. She just stopped over and wanted to know where her kid was at, because they got home and she heard a message from the paternal grandmother on the answering machine stating that she had Travis.
So she came to your house 4:30 in the morning?
Woke us up.
Okay. Now, how did you find out that your son had been injured?
I had called my voicemail and checked my voicemail at midnight.
What time? At 12 o'clock?
Yep.
What time did you arrive at his grandmother's house?
At
Look at me.
the time I got the call?
No, just answer my question.
I didn't
to
go
my
to
question.
Grandma's house.
Well, then let me finish the question, then you can answer. What time did you arrive at the grandmother's house? You got the call 12 o'clock. And your answer was you did not go to the grandmother's house.
I called Grandma, and I asked her what was going on, and she said Travis is just fine, and therefore you don't need to come and get him. You guys have been drinking, so I don't want you to drive over tonight. Why don't you drive over tomorrow morning and pick him up? We did go pick him up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
So what were you doing at Miss Smith's house at 4:30 in the morning?
I was just being a smart butt, just going over there to let her know that, hey, I know what happened, why don't you fess? And she didn't want to. Instead, she wanted to get in a fight with me instead, so I walked away.
4:30 in the morning, you go to her house after she's taken your child, gotten in an ambulance, left her party.
Which she had a vehicle. Why didn't she drive him herself? She said she was drinking at the time. They called an ambulance, which wasn't right, because she tried getting it out, her husband tried getting it out, and her husband's brother tried getting it out before they even called the ambulance. So that upsets me right there.
Shh. And what do you think she should pay for?
I think she should pay for the hospital bill and the ambulance bill and undue stress, because there's more to this case than what you actually hear and see.
Well, just a minute. I don't care whether you like each other, whether you don't like each other. The question is, who's responsible?
Well,
and
she
who
took
acted
responsibility upon watching Travis for me.
I don't think so. Not according to her.
Well, if you'd asked my mother.
Listen, I don't believe you, and if the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I'm not going to believe your
Well,
mother
if you
either.
look at the police report, it's in there.
I know what you said in the police report. I know what you said. Did you make a financial arrangement with her to watch your son?
No, because I used to watch her kids all the time, and I'd take her kids for a week at a time.
Listen to me.
It was like,
Listen to
this
me.
was the very first time that she ever watched Travis, and she couldn't even watch him for 2 hours before
Have you been drinking?
No.
Then if I'm speaking, you stop. That's the rule here. When someone is doing you a favor, they have to use reasonable care so that nothing happens to your child.
So
but I'm
the
speaking. I didn't take a breath. Accidents with children happen. You didn't expect her, did you, to watch your son every moment because she already told you she was having a party that night. So you knew she was going to be taking care of her guests, and she had a 12-year-old, and
She
they
told
were
me
going.
she
I'm
only had
speaking.
one wine cooler, and that was it, and she wouldn't drink anymore.
Speaking. It had nothing to do with her drinking. The fact that her 12-year-old and your 6-year-old were playing, and in the course of the play, your son got a fishing hook arrow caught in his finger. And she did the responsible thing. She tried to reach you. If you had done the responsible thing, I'm speaking. I'm speaking. I'm speaking. There is no question that she would have preferred to call you and have you take care of the problem than call a grandmother.
She knew I had voicemail, and she knew that I would check my voicemail.
You checked it at midnight.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Tammy Wessel says her son was injured while in the care of Irene Smith. Tammy claims Irene's son, 12-year-old Ryan Needlinger, stuck him with an arrow.
If you don't have insurance to cover it, that's your problem. That's your problem. You acted irresponsibly. She acted responsibly. There was an accident. She took care of it. She tried to contact you. She couldn't contact you. You were so drunk, you couldn't even go to pick him up at 12 o'clock when you called. But at 4:30 in the morning, you went to her house just to...
That was
what
after
did you
I
say?
went home.
What did you say?
That was after I went home, and I had been talking to my old man about it, and we were getting really upset. And we figured, well, let's go over there and see what she's got to say for herself.
Would you do me
I
a
went
favor,
over there,
Bert?
and then she
Would you
started
do me a
getting
favor?
mad.
Sure.
I've had more than enough of her.
Okay.
This case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She put a PPO on me. I went to jail for 4 hours.
Harassing me, giving me hang-up calls at work.
She turned me into Child Protective Services.
Did an illegal entry into my home.
Irene always told me that I was welcome in her house anytime.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Anderson versus Elfering. Step forward, please.
Wireless salesperson Nicole Anderson is suing her ex-fiancé, cement contractor Shane Elfring, for the return of her belongings, including her daughter's cat. Shane is countersuing for storage fees.
Miss Anderson, according to what I read, you and the defendant were on again, off again for a few years.
Correct.
You ultimately separated. It is your claim that he has your furniture that he won't return, some of your possessions, as well as your daughter's cat.
Yes.
Mr. Elfering?
Yes, ma'am.
Says that he got sick and tired of looking at your stuff after 4 months. He put it in a storage unit, and as soon as you pay for the storage unit, you can have your stuff back. As far as the cat's concerned, he's had the cat now for 8 months, and the cat's his.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, that's what your position. I haven't...
This is my
I'm
position.
just stating your position, Mr. Elfring. So, just tell me, Miss Anderson, when did you and the defendant separate?
We separated in February of this year, 2003.
Fine. And when did you put her stuff in storage?
June 16th or 17th.
And how much have you paid so far in storage?
$129.95 a month.
So once she pays the $260, she can have her stuff.
Well, Your Honor, she lived with me for free for like 4 months before that, and
so what?
You know, she would
So
never
what?
pay a dime. But you know, I'll let it walk. I'll let it go. I don't care.
I've tried to get my things.
Just a second. He's being a real mensch. Got mensch?
Mensch is, yeah.
Real nice person, a real nice guy. $260 you pay for the storage. You want your stuff back? That's what it's going to cost you.
But I've tried to get it 3 separate occasions. I called him. The first time he told me that he didn't have time to do this. The second time I went over there, I had 3 people helping me. He said he didn't want my goons in his house. He said, well, maybe this
Do you want
guy...
your stuff back?
I do, and I've tried 3 times to get it back.
That's fine. It's in storage. $260 is what it's going to cost.
But why should I have to pay to get when I've already tried to do it before he put it in storage?
How long were you in alcohol rehab?
I was there for 1 month. I've been trying to get my stuff before I went in there.
Listen to me. $260 is what it's going to cost you. Now let's get to the cat.
Yes. I like to keep the cat because she abandoned the cat along with her things.
Where's your daughter?
With me.
How old is she?
8 years old.
And when you left, why didn't you take the cat?
When I left, I didn't take the cat because the girlfriend that I was staying with had an animal as well, and they didn't get along.
How long did you stay with that girlfriend?
3 months. And then I went to Hazelden, a treatment facility.
Now, when did you get the cat?
I got the cat in July of 2002. My daughter was given the cat.
Buy her a new one.
I'm sorry?
Buy her a new one. Animals develop certain attachments. And just because now you find it convenient to take this cat back doesn't mean you're going to get it back. I find that you abandoned it when you left and went to your girlfriend's apartment. a place where you were unable to take that cat, choose someplace else to stay. But since you couldn't take the cat and you abandoned it with him, you don't turn around 6 months or 8 months later and say, I want my daughter's cat back. Buy your daughter a new kitten. Give him $260, you get your furniture back, the cat belongs to you, sir. Thank you very much, this case is over.
Parties are excused, you may step out.
Judy put it better than I could.
I think it's ridiculous. I've been trying to get this stuff for months,
She made some half-hearted attempts to come and get it.
and he finally decides to put it in storage, so now I have to pay him to get it.
She made appointments with me that she never showed up for. You know, I can only take so much.
This is case number 221 on the calendar in the matter of Collins versus Deal. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Ms. Collins, you and the defendant were engaged. It is your claim that he purchased an engagement ring for you, an engagement ring set for you, bought it on your credit card. The engagement is over, the relationship is over, you want the rings back, or you want him to pay off the credit card. Is that what you want? He says you actually took the rings back. He doesn't have possession of the rings, you have them, and he is counterclaiming for some medical bills that he says he paid for you. There was an agreement that you would pay him back, and you never did. Is that right, sir?
That's right.
Who's got the rings?
I do not have the rings with me.
But you have them at home?
No, I do not have the rings at all.
Did you take the rings back from his house?
No, I did not. He has the rings. I'm making payments on the rings. Supposedly, I took the rings. I did not take the rings.
Let's start so we don't have to go back to the year of the flood. You're engaged, you're happy, you're together, buys the rings using her store credit. And then you break up. On what date did you break up?
I'd say the end of August.
And who had the rings at that time?
I did. I was making payments. The agreement was if I had the rings, I was going to pay for them.
So she gave you back the ring?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Now, tell me about how the rings came from your possession to her possession.
Okay, first of all, she is wearing some of the rings that she took from my house. July 15th through the 17th, she had a fight with her boyfriend. She thought they were breaking up or something like that, so she came over after work, and we started talking. One thing led to another, we had sex. I went to the kitchen to get some water. She ran down the hall, locked herself in my room. She knew exactly where the rings were. When I went there, the door was locked. I had to go in the other room, get my spare key to get it out. Those rings right there were in the room. Same thing. I said, you know, I'm not going to pay for them if you have them. That's, you know, why pay for something you don't have? That's my whole thing. She said, fine. She thought because we had sex that everything was going to be okay. She was going to like, oh, next month he's going to pay because we had sex. And I'm tired of getting used by her. That's all she does. She just uses people.
There's no way I could have gone to his room. He locks his room with a key. My mother can vouch for that because she came over one day where his room was locked. His room was always locked. Always. There's no way I could have stormed down his hallway and went in his room.
When I am home, I don't lock my house. I don't lock my room. When I'm away, I lock my room. That's plain and simple. I have roommates. Everyone goes in and out.
You broke up when?
The 4th.
April?
Yeah, April.
April. And so you made payments in May?
Yeah, I was making payments all the way through.
Made payments in June? And made payments in July?
That is correct.
And in July 15th to 17th, I gather there's no issue that you were at his house.
I was not at his house, and I did not sleep with him. I have not been at his house for probably close to 4 months.
Do you have any witnesses?
Yes, I have my mother. She can testify about the rings with the conversation she had with him.
Oh, let me hear what you have to say about the rings. What's your last name, Collins?
Jared.
Tell me the conversation you had with the defendant about the rings.
After they had broke up and after they're purchasing the rings, Melissa would talk to Chuck every month to make sure that he was going to make the payment because it was her credit. And he said yes. Well, in June, they weren't getting along very well, and she had told Chuck that she would like to have her rings back because she's tired of dealing with him every month and having to call to see if he's going to make the payments because it's her responsibility. And she said, if you don't give me my rings back, I'm just going to go to court because it's my account and I'm responsible for the loan. Chuck called me on my cell phone in June on my way to work, left me a message, a very lengthy message that Melissa called him, said that she wanted her rings back. He didn't understand why I'm making the payments. She said she's threatened to take me to court. I don't understand why I'm making the payments. And then that was when the next day she had called me and said that Chuck had called her and said yes, but he, of course, at that point said that she had stolen the rings. But then he made the payments in July and August.
So what you're saying is they broke up in April, but sometime in June, she said, I want the rings back.
Right. Yes, ma'am.
Even though he was making the payments, she said, I want the rings back.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. She took them. Sit down.
I
Your
did
claim
not
is
take
dismissed. Now I'm going to your counterclaim. You want to tell me about this surgery that you're talking about?
I like to go to Tahoe about every month. I took her to go to Tahoe, and on the way back we saw a sign for surgery, I guess. She said she wanted to get them done. I said, okay, that's fine. I was all, will you pay me back? She said, yes, I will. The only way that she could get them done is if I had to trick her mom and say it was a gift. That's the only way, because her mom would not have let her done it.
Never.
Shh. So we're on the way, we get there, and she goes, I swear I'll pay you back $100 a month. I say, okay, that's fine. Every month she...
When was this?
September 13, 2001.
Okay. And then you became engaged in October.
Yeah, yes,
Is that right?
That is correct.
In September, did she give you any money?
No, she didn't.
In October, did she give you any money?
No, she didn't.
November?
No.
December?
No, she didn't
January?
Give me anything. She didn't give me anything.
Listen to me. January?
No.
February?
No.
March?
No.
April, you broke up?
Yes.
You became engaged in October,
Yes.
right? Bought her rings in October?
Yes.
Did you ever live together?
Yes, we did.
From when to when?
October to the February.
And the kind of surgery she had was cosmetic surgery, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Right?
That's correct.
I hope you enjoyed it. Your counterclaim's dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She wants everything, but not pay for anything.
He's a liar. He's always going to be a liar. If I had the rings, I wouldn't be here.
She's a cheater. She always cheats. She can't keep a steady boyfriend.
He's crazy. He's psycho. He's a liar.
I'm just happy it's over. I don't want to deal with her anymore.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Tyler versus Webb. Step forward, please.
Tax preparer Peggy Tyler is suing her former employer, business owner Tom Webb, for past due wages and sexual harassment.
Ms. Tyler, according to your complaint, you worked for the defendant in January of 2000
Till April 15th of 2002, I'm sorry.
April of 2002, mid-April.
Right.
And you claim that he owes you some money. You say he owes you money for some wages that he didn't pay you for, 2 weeks' worth, that he owes you some commission.
Yes, ma'am.
That he sexually harassed you, which is the reason he's not going to pay you because you did not respond to his advances. And third, and finally, that he had promised to pay your son some money for doing some odd jobs for him.
It was one, Your Honor. They took a balloon down the whole season.
You'll explain that to me because I have no idea what kind of work you were doing for Mr. Webb because it doesn't say in the complaint what kind of work you were doing and what kind of place he has. Mr. Webb says there was some money outstanding, according to him, but he said you broke your agreement with him. The agreement was that you would work for him through April 15th. And you left prior to that date, so he's not paying you a dime.
No, I didn't leave prior to that date.
That's your defense. Is that right, sir?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He would look down our blouses and make comments about our breasts.
And the other thing you say is your boobs would make nice pillows.
Mm-hmm. We're supposed to be seen and not heard.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Peggy Taylor says former employer Tom Webb sexually harassed her when he called her a hot biker mama. Peggy says when she rebuffed his advances, he refused to pay her.
What kind of business do you have, Mr. Webb?
Tax preparation and filing, Your Honor.
Ms. Tyler, when did you start to work for the defendant?
I actually started to work for him December the 23rd.
In what capacity?
I was a tax preparer, Your Honor.
And what was the salary that you were supposed to receive?
$7.50 an hour.
Is that correct so far?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what about the commission part of it?
When we got hired, everybody that got hired, we signed a paper and agreed to that if we quit or was fired before April the 15th, we would not get our commission. Which,
well, I don't understand what the commission was. Is that a bonus?
The commission, yes, ma'am, it's like a bonus. It's on every tax return that I did. I get so much commission on that.
Let me see the contract that you signed.
It's not a contract, Your Honor. This is the people that I did from January, all of us in the...
Can I see the contract that you signed? Okay. So according to this, you started to work for him on January 1st, 2002. And you worked for him until what date, Ms. Tyler?
April the 15th at 9 p.m.
And how much are you owed in salary?
It's about $600.
Did you pay her salary for the last 2 weeks she worked for you?
The last pay period was actually about 8 days, and she did not receive that paycheck for those last 8 days, which
Why
would
not?
have been a gross of about $310, net of about $270. Ms. Tyler owed me $400.
For what?
From a loan I made to her February 1st. I'm not in the habit of loaning money to my employees, but she had a distinct need, a child who was very ill, who needed medicine, And if she didn't have that medicine, the child would either get very ill.
Did you borrow money from him?
Yes, I did.
How much?
It was $400.
Did you pay him back?
No, I did not. At the end of the tax season, when we went to the party, I had $200 in cash, Your Honor, and tried to give him that and ask him to bring the checks up there, and I was going to sign my other check over to him, which would have been well over the $400, but he did not want that. He asked me and my son to leave the commission party.
Just a second. When do you claim she left your employ, sir?
The last day that we have on record that she worked was April 13th. I have the daily time records from the last 2 days of the year, the 14th and 15th, and she did not work on those.
Let me see.
On the 15th, when I worked, Your Honor, Charlie is the one I called to the home office and asked him to clock me in.
Well, was that your general practice? To have
Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
else clock you in?
Yeah, we would either clock in on the computer and then we would call the home office and tell them what time we were in. And I worked from 9 a.m. or 9:30 that morning until 9 p.m. that night. That's when I turned my key over to B.J. Wade.
What key are you talking about?
To the office. All the employees had keys because on Sundays I worked by myself and I had to open the office.
Well, BJ, that's you. BJ Wade, is that you?
Yes.
Step up, please. You were in the office on that day, is that right?
Yes.
On the 14th?
Yes.
Was the plaintiff there on that day?
Yes, she was.
Are you still working there?
No, I'm not.
How long did you work there?
The whole tax season.
Did you
January
get paid?
till April 15th.
Did you get paid?
Yes.
You know a Michelle?
Yes.
Was Michelle there on the 14th?
No.
Yes, she was. Time in 5, time out 9. She was there.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Peggy Tyler says former boss Tom Webb refuses to pay her because she refused his sexual advances.
How many people were you responsible for, madam?
6.
Of the 6 people that you were responsible for, how many worked until the 15th?
All of them but one.
Who was that?
Nancy.
So then the 5 people that you were responsible for get their commissions?
Yes.
Could you explain to me why she did not?
Because she owed the money, which she did agree to pay that back at the commission party, and he would not do it the way that she offered to do it.
Okay. Have a seat. Now, Ms. Tyler, let's address this theory that you have that the reason he's not paying you, according to your complaint, is that you did not respond to his sexual advances. You want to tell me about that?
He would look down our blouses and make comments about our breasts.
Tell me not our. Tell me what he said to you.
He called me a hot mama biker because
Okay, stop. When did he call you a hot mama biker?
It was in February.
Okay. Now, after February, and was the other comment that he made to you something about your breasts made at approximately the same time?
It was after that.
In what month?
Around the end of February, maybe the first week in March.
So that both remarks were made to you, being a hot biker mama, and the other thing you say is your boobs would make nice pillows.
Mm-hmm.
You attribute that to the defendant. Were made to you either in February or at the latest the first week in March. Is that right? Is that right?
Yes.
And you got paid the entire month of February. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And you got paid the entire month of March. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And when did you ask for this loan?
I believe it was around the end of February.
So none of the comments that he made to you so appalled you that you would be reluctant to ask him for a loan. Is that right?
Right.
So why let us assume that it's true for the moment, which I don't necessarily believe, sir. I want you to understand that. Why would you say that he was withholding your money because of this sexual harassment?
Because he didn't honestly believe that I would do anything about it. Because I'm not the only one that he cheated out of commission money, and years before that he did ladies the same way, which he doesn't believe women can hold any kind of an office anywhere because they're not smart enough. We're supposed to be seen and not heard. But, Your Honor, honestly, if it hadn't been for all of us women, he wouldn't have had offices.
Miss Tyler, if you didn't like Mr. Webb as an employer, don't go to work for him. You owe him $400. Now, clearly, he owes you some money, too. He owes you for 8 days, which, according to him, comes to what in gross pay, sir?
About $310.
Mr. Webb, I want you to figure out, sir, how much she earned in commissions. I assume that you've done that already.
Yes, ma'am.
And what would that amount be?
She did 133 tax returns, net to the company of about $14,000, which would have been $700 gross as a commission.
So altogether, we're talking about $1,010. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
From which we deduct $400. Now, it's really too bad that it ended this way. You being a nice person to make some loans. I think Ms. Tyler's accusations of sexual harassment are off the wall. If, in fact, you did say something stupid like that, I'll just chalk it up to stupidity. First of all, your sexual harassment is dismissed because you're suing him for $2,500. I want you to get that figure right out of your mind. Now, tell me about the deal with your sons.
They were to take the balloon down. BJ's husband put it up. They took it down.
How often did they take down this balloon?
Every night. It was 7 nights a week.
Really?
Yes.
And what was the agreement with regard to taking down the balloon?
He was going to pay them $100 each.
Do you have any agreement with the boys, sir?
I didn't know the boys existed until this was filed.
Really?
Correct.
Okay. Who do you claim he made the agreement with?
He made the agreement with my older son. He talked to him.
Come, step up. Tell me your name.
Jesse Tyler.
Tell me when you first met Mr. Webb.
I never met him before. I talked to him on the phone.
Tell me about how it came to pass that you spoke to Mr. Webb on the phone.
My mom told me that he wanted somebody to take the balloon down, and she told him that we could do it.
Tell me what you had to do.
It was out in front of the building, and we had to unplug it and let the air out of it and put it in the case and bring it in the building.
Mr. Webb, who did you think took the balloon down?
I was paying B.J. Wade and her husband, who took her to work and picked her up in the evening to do that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Miss Wade, stand up. Yes. Were you supposed to put the balloon out and take it up? You were the office manager.
My husband put it up every morning at 9 o'clock.
Were you supposed to take it down?
No.
How much was he paid?
It was like $8 extra on my check a week to take it down. And I don't have the stubs with me. I didn't bring them.
Interesting. How did you know that it was this gentleman that you spoke to on the phone?
She told me. My mom told me.
Tell me how that came about.
We talked to him.
Tell me about that you talked to him. So far, I believe that your mother said to you, he wants you to take the balloon down, and he'll pay you for it, and he'll give you $100. I want you to tell me, and I want you to make sure you tell me the truth, because otherwise, you know, I'm unpleasant. You'll always trip yourself up if you lie. Do you know that? Mm-hmm. Did you ever speak to him on the phone?
Yes.
Tell me when, and tell me how that phone call came about.
It was in the beginning of January, when the tax season started.
Go ahead.
And she answered the phone and told me that it was him, and I talked to him about it.
So you got on the phone, and what did you say?
I said that, what did you want me to talk about, you know, like that, you know.
No, don't buy it.
What?
Don't buy it. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced it wasn't her husband. I have to be satisfied that he had a contract with him. That doesn't mean...
Well, they didn't put nothing in writing. No.
Can't hire a 10-year-old. Did your husband also pick you up from work?
Yes, but
he did.
I did not work till
Okay,
closing.
judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $610, and that is for the wages and the commission that I believe you owe her, sir. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
No sexual harassment and no balloon. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You got lucky.
He knows he owes my boys. He knows BJ's husband put the balloon up, but he also knows my boys took it down every night.
She wanted something that she felt was due to her that I was quite sure was not due to her.
They're just kids. They're supposed to trust and believe in grown-ups' word, and this is what happened.
8 years I've been doing this. This is the first time anybody's ever accused me of anything.
He's pushed women around his whole life, does his wife, and still does women, and that's why he's never going to get anywhere.
Aristizabal versus Morales. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat, ma'am, please.
Mr. Aristizabal, what kind of a business do you have, sir?
Do an auto repair business, ma'am?
According to your complaint, Mr. Morales came into your shop to have his car fixed. You did a diagnostic workup on his car, told him he needed transmission to be done.
Yes.
He decided at some point that he didn't want you to do the work on his car, and he went to leave. You told him he couldn't leave until he paid you for the diagnostic work, which was $85.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, at some point, and you're going to tell me how this happened, he tried to leave. You tried to stop him. Tried to stop him by having one of your employees close a gate. He plowed through, damaged your property and a sign. You want him to pay for all that damage. Mr. Morales says that you had no right to try to restrain him.
Correct.
That you did no work on the car, that when your gate closed on his car, you caused damage to his car, and he is counterclaiming.
Correct.
What day did Mr. Morales come into your shop?
On 11/16, Mr. Morales came. I do have an exhibit.
What time did he come, sir?
4 o'clock, 4:30.
And what time does your shop close, sir?
6 o'clock, Your Honor.
Did Mr. Morales have an appointment, or did he come in
No, he walked
without
in.
an appointment?
He walked into my shop by a friend. He was recommended by a friend of his.
Had he had work done by Mr. Aristobal himself?
No, Your Honor.
So why did he make this recommendation to you?
He said to me that this was his uncle's shop and that he'd give me a good price, an estimated price on rebuilding my transmission for that.
Is that what you needed, a rebuilt transmission?
Yes, Your Honor.
How did you know that you needed a rebuilt transmission, Mr. Morales?
I had went the day before to another mechanic shop, and I have the receipt here. It shows that I paid for diagnostics, and it states there that my transmission needed to be rebuilt.
Now, when you came into Mr. Aristobal's shop, sir, did you tell him you needed to rebuild the transmission?
Yes, I did, Your Honor. Well, actually, when I first got there, he wasn't there. He showed up about 45 minutes later.
So at that point, it was between 4:45 and 5:30.
Yeah, about 5:30, when I finally got in contact with him around that time. He showed up. He asked me...
Who's Giovanni?
He was Giovanni at the time. He stated his name was Giovanni. He asked me what was the problem with the car. I stated my transmission needed to be rebuilt. He asked me, how do I know? I told him because I had another diagnostics done. So he then got in the car and test drove the vehicle.
How did he test drive the vehicle, sir?
He drove it up to the garage door, and then he also reversed it back. He opened the hood. He looked in it. The vehicle was on the whole time, and then that was basically all he did. He asked me follow me into my office. He asked me for my information. He wrote
May I
down.
see the piece of paper that you have, sir? Is that the information that you filled out when you came in?
Yes, this is exactly information exactly as to what happened.
Okay. Is this the piece of paper that you filled out while Mr. Morales was sitting in your office?
There is 4 copies, Your Honor, just to refresh you. There is 4 copies at the beginning of the estimate. That was the final estimate, what it says, everything that I found with the vehicle, everything that said. He also asked me
You're not answering my question, sir.
That's the piece of paper that he filled up, yes, Your Honor. And he got an estimate of that.
No. Mr. Morales did not sign this document that you have handed to me.
Yes, he did.
No. He did not sign this as it is written here. You filled this out after he left. So I want to see what he signed when he was there, not after you wrote everything that you wanted to write on this document about what happened later.
I gave him a copy where it says computer diagnosis, ABS not working, to check and advise. $85 on the top of it, as you can see. The final invoice,
This invoice is meaningless to me, sir. So then let's get over this, because we're not going to waste any more time. We're not going to waste any more time.
Fine, Your Honor.
Tell me what you did with the car, Mr. Aristobal.
When it came out for the car, I did the diagnosis. I put it what is called a modest.
Tell me what you did.
I did the
want to know.
diagnostic.
Listen to me.
Would you please let me describe, Your Honor?
No, I want you to answer my question, Mr. Aristobal.
I finally invoiced it. I told him exactly what it was wrong at 5:30. He said he was going to take it somewhere else to have it repaired somewhere else. He wasn't going to do it then. I asked him he must repair. He must pay me for the diagnosis that I had done.
I didn't hear anybody doing a diagnostic, sir. Just because you wrote diagnosis doesn't mean you did anything. Now, you want to tell me exactly what you did or produce an employee who performed any work on the car.
It says right there on the invoice, Your Honor.
Mr. Aristobal, that's what the whole dispute is about. Mr. Morales says you didn't do any work on his car.
So he signed an invoice saying to have the car diagnosed.
This invoice, sir, is worthless. You wrote this invoice after the whole incident happened.
Did you see that I did it after, Your Honor?
Sir, you can't produce something.
I am producing. That's the honestly true, Your Honor.
Mr. Aristobal.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We started arguing. He was, being loud. I got loud also.
He was a little bit high on drugs, I will imagine, because he was very,
He wasn't. This man was not high on drugs.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Mechanic Orlando Aristizabal says customer James Morales owes for skipping out on a bill. James says Orlando didn't perform any work on his car.
Who is this person?
That is a customer that happened to be there when he damaged his car, and he's here to testify. He damaged the car with the...
So this is a witness that you brought. Did you bring a witness who did any work on Mr. Morales' car?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, did anybody else take your car away from you and put it up on a lift or a machine?
No, Your Honor.
When you told him that you weren't going to do the job, what happened?
Well, what happened was, from after he drove the vehicle, we got off the car, we went into his office. He asked me for my information. I signed the form. He said that he was going to call me the next day to let me know exactly how much it was going to cost, that it was mandatory for his company to do a diagnostics. So after all, I agreed with it. I said, fine, fine. I agreed with it. I left the premises.
What made you change your mind, sir?
Overall, the car is in my name. It's my car, but that's my wife's vehicle. I have a 99 Tahoe, my truck, which I drive to work and back. She uses the Infiniti to go to work and do her errands. The car that was getting fixed was coming out of her money. She said no. She decided not to. She told me, well, we're wasting our money if we're throwing our money out the window to get another diagnostics done if we just got one done yesterday. So from there...
So you went back inside to get your car?
Right. When I went back to the premises, we pulled into the vehicle. She pulled in where the gate line is, right on the premises line, where the gate would close, and she stopped. I got off the vehicle. I walked up to the garage. I seen my vehicle still in the same place, the key still in the ignition, the hood was still open, the door was open, and I looked for Mr. Giovanni, which he told me his name was at the time. I went into the office. I did not see him. I came out of the office. He came out of the back. He appeared out of the back. I then told him, we're not going to leave the car with you. After all, I'm going to go ahead and take my car. He told me, well, you can go ahead and take the car, but you have to pay me my diagnostics, my $85 for the work that was done. I told him what work. I told him there was no wires connected to my car. I see no computer next to my car. I see no mechanic next to my car. I see no tools. The car was not on a hoist. It was not moved. So therefore, I felt that there was no work rendered to my vehicle, and I told him that I was not going to pay him.
Did you see his car on a lift, sir?
No.
Did you see any wires attached to his car being diagnosed?
Well, I was only there for like 5 minutes.
The answer is no.
No.
Go ahead.
So from that point, I told him I told him that I wasn't going to pay him. We started arguing. He was being loud. I got loud also, and from there I had my wife and my daughter in my truck waiting for me. I didn't want to argue with him, so I gave him the paper back. I shook his hand and I told him, look, Mr. Giovanni, if you feel I owe you, you have all my information.
Sue me.
You call me, you sue me, you do whatever you have to do. I'm taking my car.
Does that sound familiar, Mr. Aristobal?
I saw him after he came back. He wanted to leave. I told him he must pay for the diagnosis, which had been authorized.
And he said, I'm not paying for it.
He said he's not paying for it. I can call the police. He was a little bit high on drugs, I will imagine, because he was very,
This man was not high on drugs. This man was not high on drugs. Listen to me, sir. Mr. Aristobal, put the pictures down, sir. How did you stop him? Because according to your complaint, you said you tried to stop him. How did you try to stop him, sir?
I don't need to stop him. I did not. So help me God, Your Honor. I did not stop him. He left, taking my gate out of it and my dumpster, here in the dumpster, and here is the pictures of it.
Step up. You were a customer?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been a customer there?
For like 1 year.
You saw this incident happen?
Yeah, I only saw when he left.
Did one of Mr. Aristobal's employees close the gate?
No, ma'am.
Was it closed?
No, it was open. It was open like a car's distance.
And so describe to me what happened, sir.
Well, the young man got in his car and he just, like, bailed out fast, like he was stealing the car. He was, like, scared for some reason. He just left real fast and he hit the dumpster and
the gate.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. From that time, when I paid it, I told him I wasn't going to pay the $85, I gave him the receipt back, because when I left, he gave me a receipt. And I told him, I'm not going to pay you. I was already backing up. He then asked me, look, at least pay me $45 for my labor fee. I then replied to him, I'm not going to pay you anything. I continued to back up. He started yelling at his, there was about maybe 10 employees there. And if I may say, Your Honor, he was also an employee here. The witness is also an employee. If you notice his hands, they are greasy. I mean,
you work for him?
he
Did
is
you
an employee.
part-time work for him?
I don't work for him. I paint cars. He's a mechanic shop.
What were you doing there that day, sir?
He was fixing one of my cars.
Fixing one of your
Mechanical.
personal cars or your
Yeah.
business cars?
No, one of my cars.
Your
that
Honor,
I'm going
if
to
I
sell. Yeah, I try to get cars fixed so I can sell them.
Sit down. Go ahead.
From there, he yelled at his employees, don't let him leave, don't let him leave. I'm calling the police, don't let him leave. When my wife was still parked in the same place, if I can point out, she was parked here, right on the gate where the gate closes, and one of the employees started closing the gate on her vehicle. My daughter was in the car on the passenger side, behind the passenger back seat, and where the gate was closing onto. My wife then exits the vehicle and asks Giovanni, what's going on? What's going on? Giovanni replies, he's trying to steal my money. He needs to pay me. You guys need to pay me my money. She got in the vehicle. She backed up. She got onto the street. I then continued to back up. When they closed the gate on me, when it hit my vehicle, if you can see, if I can present some pictures to you. If you notice where the red arrow is, that's where I came to a complete stop at the dent that it made.
I want to see all the pictures, Byrd. There's Mr. Aristobal's also, please.
This is the customer's car.
So what's this?
The car was scraped from the front all the way, from the back all the way to the front, from the yellow fence. If you can notice the yellow paint on the fence.
If you look, Your Honor, on the tire on the driver's side, on the first tire, you would see that the trash can was actually pushed onto
the car.
On the driver's side.
You see the blue paint from the picture.
And both of the mirrors were knocked off.
Did you see who did that?
I couldn't really identify who did it. However, I know the male who was closing the gate was a white, tall, Caucasian male. And I told him, what's going on here? Because he's closing the gate on the side my 2-year-old is sitting on in her car seat. He says, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. Mr. Giovanni at the time, who had presented himself as Giovanni, was instructing his workers in Spanish that by no means let us out. Mr. Giovanni at that time said that he was going to call the cops. However, Cop Ernst did call the dispatching group to see if any call was dispatched from that location, and it was a negative.
Who's Giovanni?
This is, I named my shop after my son.
When somebody comes in and asks for Giovanni, your name is Orlando.
I am Giovanni's DBA-S. Yes, Your Honor, that is true. I'm Orlando DBA-S Giovanni's. That's how my fictitious name is.
You have estimates on your car?
Yes, we do, Your Honor. We have an estimate that was done a couple of days after the incident.
The next day.
The next day.
Which is the 17th. It's also dated.
Do either of you have a police report?
Yes, we do.
We have a copy of the preliminary police report that was filed that day.
If I may...
Do you have a copy of a police report that you filed, Mr. Aristobal?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it, please.
If I may, Your Honor.
Shh. Okay. No. What year car is this?
It's a 1993 Infiniti G20.
Well, the cost of painting it is $3,000. It's
Right.
worth more than the car.
Exactly.
Right. You paint cars, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
How much do you charge for a really good paint job?
It varies from $2,500 to $500.
And what about to take out all the dents on a car?
Depends how many, what kind of dents.
Here you go. It's not often that I have an expert witness that I can question. You can stand up, sir.
It could be fixed without changing any parts.
Great. How much could you fix it for, sir?
I can fix this probably for $1,500.
You know what I find interesting, Mr. Aristobal? That Mr. and Mrs. Morales filed their police report the date of this incident, the 16th.
Right after.
You didn't bother to file yours until the next day.
When I went there, they told me I won't be able to file the same day because simply They have filled out one, and when I got there at the Foothill Police Division, they told me I must wait until next day so I can file a report. And I went back.
Are you telling me that a police officer said you couldn't give your version of the events on the same day?
Yes, because it was one taken already. Yes, Your Honor, that's
But the next day it was okay for them to take it.
Well, I went over it again.
So what you're telling me is the next day they said...
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Aristobal, you did the wrong thing, sir. There was a dispute. Whether you were right or wrong with regard to the dispute, you had an option. And your option was to let this gentleman and his wife leave.
I did.
And no, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. To let this gentleman and his wife leave, causing no problem, deciding to sue him, you had his name and address, you felt as if he owed you $85, that's what you do. You said, no, I'm calling the police. The truth of the matter is, if you had called the police at that very moment, Mr. Aristobal, you would have been the first one filing the police report. You didn't call the police at all.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Not that day you didn't, sir.
So help me God.
No, you didn't, sir. Because then you would have filed the police report before them, and if I listened to your logic, when they came out speaking, then when they came in, the police would have said to them, you can't file a report today, Mr. Aristobal already did. You have to come back tomorrow and file your report. I know exactly what happened. You don't have to be a genius to figure out what happened. There is no indication whatsoever by you or any witness that any work was done on Mr. and Mrs. Morales' car. You were annoyed that they weren't leaving the car. You told your employees to close the gate because you weren't going to let him take the car. You frightened his wife by your actions, and you're going to pay for his car.
And my daughter.
And he's not going to pay for any damage that he did to your gate or your dumpster because he had no right to try to keep him inside, which you did. You have recourse. This is not the Wild West. Judgment for the defendant in the amount of $1,700. You can have your car fixed for that amount. Otherwise, you'll have to total it.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. Next step.
I think that people shouldn't be able to just manipulate the whole situation. I think they're in control, and I think the judge made a good ruling.
He took the keys away. He got in a car. He was speeding out about 25 miles an hour.
Me trying to save money, a friend referred me to a guy who said it would be cheaper, and ended up wrong.
Since he was a little bit high on, you know, I don't know what it was. He was spinning the wheels out.
No, I haven't drank. I don't do drugs.
I feel that he was stealing the services, and he did. I let him go.
Any common sense person can see the truth, so I'm glad that, you know, it came out right.
Yeah, this is case number 460 on the calendar in the matter of Candia versus Castro. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Candia, the defendant is your former boyfriend. You lived together for a period of time, and you have a child together.
Yes.
You don't live together anymore, and according to your complaint, he owes you for bail money. He had been arrested on a domestic violence complaint. I assume you were the victim in that domestic violence complaint.
Yes.
And in addition to that, you want him to pay his portion of the remainder of the lease on the apartment that you live in, despite the fact that you put him out of the house. You say he's responsible for it, he's on the lease, he should pay. When was he arrested for domestic violence?
On November 16th.
What were the circumstances of his arrest?
We went to a wedding. It was Julio and my daughter and myself.
How old's your daughter?
She's a year and a half.
Okay.
And Julio was drinking quite a bit. I asked him to slow down, but he chose not to. He got pretty intoxicated. He got to the point where he wasn't really coordinated in his walk, so we left, and he started to get belligerent in the car.
So you were driving and he was in the passenger seat?
I have a van, so he was in the back with the baby in the car seat.
What was he doing in the back?
He was yelling a lot of names at me, getting really
nasty.
Yes. And I was concerned about my daughter. She was awake and she saw him acting this way. And I told him to stop. He wouldn't, so I told him to get out of the car. I pulled over, told him to get out. First he refused, and then he got out. And then I realized that we were on a busy street. It was in San Francisco. And knowing that he was not walking right, I didn't want him to get hit by a car, so I came out of the car and I asked him to be respectful to me, and I would, you know, drive him home and stuff like that. And he kept arguing with me, and it turned violent at that point.
What do you mean it turned violent? What happened?
Well, he started to urinate on a tree, And
on a busy street in San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds charming.
And I guess he thought it was funny. He started to urinate on my
Well, he thought
shoe.
it was funny again. Yeah.
He started to urinate on my shoe, and I kind of pushed him away. But I guess he thought I was attacking him, and he just started basically hitting me.
And somebody called the police?
It was 3 ladies in a car were honking the horn at him to stop.
And they must have called the police?
Mm-hmm.
And they came and they arrested you. Is that right, sir?
Yes.
Perfect. Exactly what should have happened, right?
Yes.
You don't think anything else should have happened, right?
No.
You were drunk. You were abusive. You were urinating in public. You were hitting her, pushing her. So you should have been arrested, right?
Yes, Your Honor, but may I?
Sure. I want to hear you.
You know, we have a commitment. We make a commitment to each other. That,
No, you didn't. What kind of commitment do you have?
Well, if I drink, she driving, and she.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a marriage commitment.
No,
sir.
no, no.
Oh, no. You have a commitment that if you drink, she drives. And if she drinks, you drive.
I drive, right.
Good. So you have an arrangement, not a
An
commitment.
arrangement,
A
I'm
commitment
sorry.
is something that 2 people
Right.
usually have together when they start a family,
Okay,
when
an
they make a
arrangement,
baby.
sorry.
You know, they go to a minister, they go to a rabbi, they go to a priest, they go to a clerk, they get married. They, you know,
Right.
you do them. You know what I'm talking about.
So an arrangement.
You had an arrangement.
Right.
The arrangement was when you drink, she drives you home. So I'm listening. I'm waiting. Let me hear you.
We had similar circumstances when she drinks. She gets
I'm not
violent.
interested in similar circumstances.
Okay.
Did she ever urinate on your foot?
She did worse than that, Your Honor.
I don't want to know.
But I'm not
that.
here for that, right?
I want you to tell me what happened that day
Okay.
that in any way minimizes your fault, your culpability.
Well, I don't feel that I should pay all the money to her.
Very
we went
few
to a
people
wedding.
do.
She started hitting me, and she did this, pulled me out of the car. I wasn't doing anything back there.
I believe she pulled you out of the car. I believe she did. Listen, just because she's very soft-spoken, I don't necessarily buy into that. You understand that, don't you? Huh?
Yes.
I believe that you grabbed him, pulled him out of the car. And that's why he got out. And you have no right to open up your big, fresh mouth in front of a baby.
I wasn't doing that, Your Honor.
Well, why would you think, sir, that she would pull you out of the
She
car?
thought I was on the phone talking to my ex-girlfriend. That's what she pulled
In the
car
back
over.
of the car?
In the van, right.
Were you on the phone?
No. I don't even know my ex-girlfriend's phone number.
Was that true that he was on the phone?
He
Look
was
at
talking,
me.
He was talking to his son on the phone.
You know anything about a phone call to his ex-girlfriend? Look at me. Right here.
I heard him mention
Look at me.
her name, but
You did.
I asked him.
You did. When did you hear him mention her name?
During the conversation with his son.
With his son?
Yeah.
Did that make you angry?
That's what
Yep. Did that make you
Yes,
angry?
I questioned him about it.
Okay. Very good. You see what happens, how the worm turns? We get some information? Good. Now, you questioned him about it. We don't question about it. You got angry.
I did question him about it.
And what did he say to you when you questioned him about it?
Nothing. He really didn't have any answer for me. He
You're
just
not-
kind
I
of looked
just-
cross-eyed to me.
Go ahead.
I'm not a violent person. I'm not somebody that's going to drink. I get happy, if anything. And I feel like she provoked me to do what I did. Whatever
You can't
I did.
provoke somebody.
Well, and I'm not saying that it was right.
Good. Why don't we just stop there? Nobody can provoke another human being into indulging themselves in violence. You can't do that because you're supposed to be able to
But I
control
was
yourself.
not
That's what
screaming or
makes us
scream-
different
I wasn't
from
screaming in
animals.
front of my daughter or anything like that.
That's what
After the
makes us-
phone call is when she
mouth-
started.
My mouth is moving. Mr. Castro, human beings control themselves. Animals can't control themselves. And if you drink to a point where you can't control yourself and you just act out the way you feel, you have to be responsible for that. So 3 ladies in a car were so concerned about what they saw that they called the police and you were arrested. And that was the bail. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is he responsible for the bail?
I picked him up. I asked him when we were walking across the street to the bailiff's office. I told him how important I needed that money back.
And what did he say?
He told me he promised he would pay me back every single penny.
Is that right?
I don't remember saying that, Your Honor. I started paying her because there wasn't enough money for the bail, and she told me she needed some money, so I said, okay, I'll give you. So I gave her $500. And
afterwards, sir.
Afterwards.
Don't play with me. After she posted the bail, you started to pay her back.
Yes.
Not on your way over to get the bail, afterwards. And how much did you pay her back?
$500.
That's what she says. Now, how long were you in jail, sir?
16 hours, something like that.
Okay, so not long. So
No.
you got out on the 17th. When you got out, where did you go?
We went back to the house.
Is that right?
Yes.
When did you leave the house?
10 days later, because it was just
Tell me what
arguing
happened.
and fightings and
Tell
just
me what happened 10 days later.
Well, from the time I got out of jail, maybe the following day, she just, and I understand, she felt like she didn't want me around, and we just kept arguing every day. You see, I had a 14-year-old, and it was arguing all day in front of the kids, calling each other names, and just, you know, so.
So you decided to leave?
I decided to leave. I thought it was the best thing for both of us.
Probably true.
For the kids.
Are you still living there?
Yes.
Good. Why do you think he should pay for the balance of the lease?
Because he chose to leave, and he's...
No. You didn't want him to stay. And it was dangerous for him to stay. You have a 14-year-old and an infant? Why should they be around constant bickering and quarreling?
True, Your Honor, but, you know, he signed a lease that, you know, he should at least fulfill his lease.
Well, where'd you expect him to live? You
He
can't
lives
pay
with
rent
his-
at your house
He
and
lives with his
someplace
son.
else.
He doesn't pay anything at his son. I don't see why he cannot pay the remainder of the lease.
You should take him to court for child support. He should pay child support.
That's not true, Your Honor. I still pay my son for living there. I don't live there for free.
No. I'm not talking about where you're living now. You pay your son. I'm talking about child support for your baby, sir.
I'm taking care of my baby. You know?
You mean the baby lives with you?
No, I'm helping her with the baby.
What do you mean you're helping her? Tell me.
Giving her money.
How much? It's not an answer.
500.
500 a what?
A month.
When was the last time you gave her $500?
December. Well, I paid the rent that month.
In
I paid half
December?
of the rent, yes.
How much
So,
was half of the rent?
$675.
Did he pay half of the December's rent?
Yes, he did.
Okay, what about January?
No.
Why not?
Because we were coming to court.
You have to support your child.
Yes, I do. I know.
She shouldn't have to take you to court to get you to do that. You should do that by yourself. But you have to do that regularly, every week or every 2 weeks or every month.
I never said that I wasn't going to pay child support or I wasn't going to help my daughter.
You have to do it.
I know. I never.
A month went by. So far, I didn't see any money. Where was the money for last month?
I haven't given it to her yet.
Why not?
Well, I was waiting for the court.
What do you mean you were waiting? Child has to eat, right?
Well, she eats all the time. I still go over there and. You know,
Mr. Castro,
I still
Mr.
go
Castro,
to Safeway and get
what
her
you're supposed
food
to do
and-
is take care of your responsibilities. Do you understand?
I think I do take care
Well,
of it.
you didn't. A, you didn't take care of your bail. You paid $500, and the bail, according to the plaintiff, was $3,500, leaving a balance of $3,000. Is that right?
Yes.
Let me see the paperwork. So that's not taking care of your responsibility. It's your bail. You acted badly. You failed to control yourself. It's not her bail, it's yours. And you said you would pay her back. And you did give her $500, but then you stopped. I want to know why you stopped. And you have no answer for that? Is this the first time you were arrested for domestic violence, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
First time you were arrested?
No.
When was the last time you were arrested?
1991?
Were you ever incarcerated?
No.
What happened with this case?
He was dismissed. I was supposed to go to court the following Wednesday, and when I showed up for court, they said that the case was dismissed.
Okay. $3,000 he owes you. I don't think he's responsible for the rest of the rent. I think, however, he is responsible for child support. You live there with your 2 children? You have 2 children?
Yes.
Do you get child support for your 14-year-old son?
No.
Why not?
His father's deceased.
So does he get Social Security?
No. He's been deceased since I was 7 months pregnant, so I was very young. I did not do anything about it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And later today,
She gave up her business to come and volunteer with yours for nothing? She had her own business. You mean to tell me she gave it up? She wasn't in love with you.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Rita Candia says during a night out, ex-boyfriend Julio Castro became drunk and belligerent.
You have to start to pay some child support, Mr. Castro.
I don't have a problem with that, Your Honor.
Very good. How much are you going to pay her?
We talked about between $500 and $600.
When was the last time you talked about it?
Maybe about a month ago, 3 weeks ago.
How much money did he give you last month?
Nothing.
Is that right, Mr.
He just
Castro?
gave me maybe diapers.
Right.
Mr. Castro, the first thing I want you to do when you get home is write her out a check. Write her out a check for $500. Because along with certain pleasures that you get from children, you also have responsibilities. So
I don't have a problem with that.
Then start paying. Do you understand?
Yes.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I didn't feel like it was all my fault.
I didn't pour alcohol down his throat.
We were both drinking.
When the red flags show, listen to it or walk away from it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Atkins versus Williams. Step forward, please.
Nurse Latricia Atkins is suing her sister-in-law, store owner Alice Williams, for unpaid wages and reimbursement for merchandise. Alice says Latricia was supposed to be a volunteer.
Miss Atkins, the defendant is your sister-in-law. She had been married to your brother who passed away recently. Is that right?
Yes.
When did your brother pass away?
June 2nd of 2000.
How did he die?
Actually, he had a drowning. We don't actually know what really happened.
It is your claim that you went into a partnership with your sister-in-law in a small business. You had been doing some selling at fair,
like swap meets, different people.
And you'd been selling children's clothing?
No, mostly adult clothes.
In any event, your sister-in-law said she was interested in going into a business, and according to you, she put up the money and you put up the skill.
Yes.
And the know-how. And you worked and you kept waiting for profits. There were no profits, she said, because she took care of the books. And you are suing her now for what you believe is your fair share of the work that was done.
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Williams says that there was never a partnership. You helped her out. You volunteered out of the goodness of your heart. That there was never an arrangement to share the profits. This was her business and her business only. She put up the money. You put up nothing. And she owes you nothing. That's your position.
Absolutely. With the exclusion of she was a phenomenal help for me. Basically, when I asked her...
I didn't ask you anything yet. Did you say basically
Absolutely,
that's correct?
yes.
Correct. Okay. Tell me about how this business started with your sister-in-law.
Well, I was in school, and I didn't have any income, so I decided to start taking the little money that I did have and start selling clothes. And she approached me at a barbecue at my sister's house in Lancaster and said that, oh, looks like you're doing pretty good. I would like to be basically a silent partner. You can go find the place and everything, and which I did. I found the place. And,
just a second.
Okay.
How long had you been doing your selling before she approached you?
Probably a couple of months. I was doing my own thing.
How much money did you make in the 2 months that you were in business before going into an association with your sister-in-law?
Oh, I was making like maybe close to $200, $300 a week.
$200 or $300
yes.
a week?
Yes.
Okay. Then she approaches you and you went and got a different booth?
Yes, she said, you know, I got a little money on the side that I can really, you know, help out, but you can go find a place and I'll basically be a silent partner.
So did you go find a larger place?
Yes, I went and found a larger place.
When?
It was September 13th.
Of what year?
Of 2002.
And how many days a week did you work there?
Just 3 days a week.
How many weeks did you work there?
September 13 to November 20th.
Is that about right?
Yes.
You handled the money, is that right?
Yes, I did.
How much money did you, when you were handling the money, turn over to Miss Atkins during that time?
None, because there was...
Just you turned over none. And it is your testimony, Miss Williams, very succinctly, that Miss Atkins gave up her business that she was in for 2 months prior to your approaching her in order to go into your business 3 days a week for approximately 12 weeks as a volunteer. Is that what you want me to believe? I'm just asking you, is that what you want me to believe?
Yes.
I don't. I don't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Ms. Williams, makes no sense for someone who has a business making some extra money. I don't know if it was $200 to $300. I'm not so sure about that. Even if it was $50 a day, it is incredible that she would give up her business to go in and work 3 days a week in your business and not expect to be compensated. It's ridiculous. And it's not true. She had her own business. You mean to tell me she gave it up? She wasn't in love with you. She gave up her business to come and volunteer with yours for nothing? It just didn't happen, Miss Williams. You took advantage of her. So you got to pay for that. Do you look like you're losing?
No.
Now, it's going to be absolutely impossible for me to go back and to say to you, well, what merchandise did you have? What did you sell it for? Because that would have been a partnership. You put up the money. She goes in there and devotes her time. But certainly $50 a day is an appropriate amount of money to pay somebody who works 8 hours a day. And that you're going to pay her. So far, she owes you $1,320. Anything else?
No, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad it's over.
It's sad. I didn't want to do this. She asked me to.
She basically was volunteering. She knew the business was small. She knew that I was starting out.
I still got a lot of love for her.
She basically was able to just take advantage.
I hate that it went this way.
I'm really just glad it's over, and I want nothing else to do with these people.
Case number 521 on the calendar in the matter of Henriksen versus Mitchell. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. You're welcome. Have a seat, sir.
Ms. Henriksen, you purchased a used car from the defendant who was a friend of your boyfriend's, according to what I've read. This car was purchased some time ago. You gave him a down payment, and then there were a series of circumstances. In any event, he took the car back. You want what you paid in on the car, or the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Mitchell says that you didn't abide by the terms of your contract with him, even though it was a verbal contract, and he really got shafted because a car that was once valuable, he had to ultimately get rid of for a lot less money. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. When did you purchase this car from him, Ms. Henriksen?
I purchased it in about late July of 2001.
And what kind of car was it?
It was a 1991 Pontiac Firebird.
And what was the agreed upon purchase price?
$4,500.
So far, is all of that correct?
Yes.
And you gave him a down payment?
Yes, ma'am. $1,500.
What were the payment terms?
The payment terms were going to be agreed upon the amount it was going to be based on what I was making. I was working as a telemarketer, and so I was unsure of the paychecks I was going to be getting. So he agreed to give me a couple months to get settled in my job so I would have an average paycheck so I could make adequate payments.
Did you start making payments to him?
No, ma'am.
Did not?
No.
Tell me why.
I was unsuccessful as a telemarketer in the state of California, and I decided it was best for me to move to Idaho, where I'm originally from. At that time, I had found work in a heartbeat, and I was willing to make payments at that time.
Just a second. So in October, you did not make any payments as you promised?
No, ma'am.
So you breached the contract?
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. Breached the contract. You left that out of your papers. He's not, let me explain something to you. He is not a partner in your misfortune. He agreed to give you, out of the goodness of his heart, time to pay, and you didn't. All right, so now we come to October, and you made no payments. What about November?
And by November, I had established a job in Idaho, and I had listed into the Army National Guard.
Did you make any payments in November?
By November, he had asked for the car back, ma'am. I did not make a payment, no.
Were you still driving the car in November?
I had driven it back to the state of California. To
in
give
November?
It back to him. Yes,
When in November?
Right before Thanksgiving, ma'am.
So the end of November?
Yes, ma'am.
So you made no payments in November?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did you have his permission to take the car from California to Idaho?
He did not tell me that I could not.
Yes, sir.
That's not true.
Go ahead.
The agreement was when I found out that towards the end of October she was going to move back to Idaho because things weren't working out here and she could find work there, I said, that's fine. I was initially approached by my best friend Dennis, which is her former fiance, and he had let me know she was moving, so I said, that's fine and everything, but the car is not leaving California until paid for.
Right, that sounds smart.
So we had talked about it. The next day, she had talked with Dennis, and they both decided that she would take his Honda to Idaho, and he would stay in California and make monthly payments to me since he owed her money on a previous car accident he was in that her family loaned her. And then when she decided to move to Idaho, come to find out, my car was gone and the Honda was out in front of our apartment complex.
And you took it back?
Yep.
How much did you ultimately sell it for or get rid of it for?
I didn't ultimately sell it. It was impounded by the CHP for non-registration. I had it in my carport at my apartment complex because I was holding it for her. When I retained the vehicle back in November, the new agreement of our verbal contract was for me to hold it. She said she was getting some sum for signing up, going to boot camp, and she would get more money when she got out. When she got out of boot camp, she would pay me the $3,000 owing, and then in essence the car would be hers. I would transfer title. Well, everything was hunky-dory. I held the car for her. She gets out of boot camp.
When did you get out of boot camp?
June of 2002.
Okay. What happened when you got out of boot camp?
I had the money for the rest of the car. I had the $3,000 he requested. I called and I called. He did not return any of my calls. The one time I did get a hold of him, he told me that he no longer had the car.
When was that?
That was early August of 2002.
Just a second. You got out in June of 2002.
Yes,
Where were you
ma'am.
for 2 months?
I was calling him all summer long. Calling him, he would not call me back. I have proof that he received my calls and did not call me back. The one time I got a hold of him.
Is that right?
And the phone calls, yes, but her explanation, no.
Go ahead. Let me hear.
Her explanations, as far as her calling me, yes, those were more on a social event of getting together and whatnot. When she got out of boot camp, I didn't get any phone call from her other than stating that she didn't want the car anymore because her dad felt that the car was not valued for what I wanted it for, and that she just wanted her $1,500 back.
Ms. Hendrickson.
Yes.
You know, ordinarily I am very sympathetic to people who put a down payment on the car and then for some reason that I quite frankly wouldn't understand, the car is taken back and people want their money back. You drove his car for 5 months.
Yes, I did.
You drove his car, you put mileage on his car, you drove from California to Idaho, from Idaho back to California. You drove it when you were there and you expect your $1,500 back after you had his car for 5 months, which would be the equivalent of about $300 a month. If you rented a car, could you rent a car for $300 a month? No. Why do you think that you're entitled to any money back? Especially since you breached the agreement.
Jamie and I had an understanding agreement. We were, all three of us, with Dennis included, were a very tight-knit group.
Well, you're not tight-knit anymore. Now
No,
it's
we're
business.
not. That
Now
is
it's
true.
business. Why do you think it's fair? Let's talk about equity. Why do you think it's fair for him to be out of car and for you, because of your problems, to expect him to give you your money back when you had exclusive use of his car for 5 months? Even taking it out of state. Put your hand down. Who needs you? You're the boyfriend or the ex-boyfriend?
I'm her ex-fiance.
Good. You're the one who didn't have the guts to tell her not to take the car out of California. Are you the same one?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Jamie and Dennis did a lot of talking, and I was left out of it a lot.
I'm talking about the basic agreement, Ms. Hendrickson. The basic agreement was $1,500 down. I'm going to be a nice guy, give you 2 months to get your finances in order before you have to start making payments on the rest. 2 months came and went, you made no payment. 3 months came and went, you made no payment, and you took the car out of state against his wishes. 3 months, no payments. 4 months, no payments. 5 months, no payments. You bring the car back, you say to him, listen, by the way, hold the car for me, I'm going to boot camp. He's not your father. What?
No, ma'am, I did not tell him to hold the car for me. The agreement was, when I took the car back to him around Thanksgiving, I said, if you are willing to find somebody to pay you full amount for what you asked for the car, I will understand that. You can get the cash, full amount.
Including your $1,500 down payment?
Including my $1,500
You're not
down
entitled
payment.
to that, madam. What makes you think you are entitled to a free ride with his car for 5 months?
I don't know, ma'am.
There is no reason that you're entitled to a free ride with his car for 5 months. That's stupid. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He took the car out from underneath me, point blank.
The car leaving state, coming back, holding the car, I was just really taken advantage of, and it wasn't shown that way.
He knew why I wasn't making payments, and he agreed to work with me, and now he's saying that all of a sudden he wasn't.
The car came between friends, and it's really sad that we had to come to a court and lose friendship over a car.
We are no longer friends at all, none of us.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Brennan Brown versus Perkins. Step forward.
Cook Michelle Brannon and her daughter, 19-year-old receptionist Heather Brown, are suing Heather's ex-boyfriend, 30-year-old automotive technician Dan Perkins, for the cost of a car.
This is your ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
Who you met in a chat room or something on the
Something like
internet.
that,
And is also your ex-mechanic.
Yes.
Your daughter, your ex-boyfriend / ex-mechanic. According to your complaint, Mrs. Brown, you had a car. It's a 1988 Dodge Daytona.
Yes, ma'am.
That needed some repair work. The defendant said, I can do that work. Took the car, gave you an estimate, you paid him some money. You want your car back? They broke up. He says the car got hit by a drunk driver somehow, and he doesn't have it anymore.
That's basically it.
You don't have the car anymore.
I do have the car,
Oh, you
Your
do?
Honor.
Oh,
Yes,
you
I
do?
do, and it is ready. It's been ready.
Really? Oh, great.
Yes.
Oh, terrific. That's even better. I thought it got hit by some driver.
It has been hit by a drunk driver, Your Honor.
That's what I thought. I didn't think that I was
I
making
have
that
the
up.
police report.
Okay. On what date did you give him the car?
I believe it was May 2nd, Your Honor.
And at that time, the two of you were still dating?
Yes.
Good. Did you get an estimate on what it would cost to fix it?
Eventually, he gave me an estimate of approximately $600 for the repairs at that time.
Okay. And when was that?
That was about 2 weeks after he had taken the car.
So far, Mr. Perkins, is that about right?
So far.
How long did he say it would take to fix the car?
He said he would have it ready no longer than 2 weeks from taking the car on the original
Your
date.
Honor, that's not the case at all. In fact, her mother had told me.
I didn't ask you anything yet, but I will.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Prior to this entire set of events, her husband had driven the car literally on top of a fire hydrant. So it had an amazing amount of extensive damage underneath prior.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Cook Michelle Brannon and her daughter, 19-year-old receptionist Heather Brown, are suing Heather's ex-boyfriend, 30-year-old automotive technician Dan Perkins, for the cost of a car.
Okay. So what happened?
Time went on. I continued to give him payments on repairs that I had no proof that were done at that time.
Did you see your car again?
No, I did not see the car
How
after he
much
took
more
it.
money did you give him?
I gave him a total of $861 over the course of a month.
Now, when you gave him the first $600, when did he call you and tell you he would need more money?
About the third week in May, he said, well, the car needs a new transmission. He said that would cost $450.
So you'd still owe him another $200 for the transmission, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, after the relationship became more complicated, her becoming pregnant and him learning about this, he was harder to reach by phone. I would call on one occasion. He took the phone off the hook and wouldn't agree to a date or an amount that I still owed on the car and a date that he could have it finished.
Okay, but you had agreed to pay him the additional $450.
Yes, ma'am.
And is that what you want, sir? $450 for the transmission and then she gets her car?
She has paid $250 of that, Your Honor, but there still remains the issue of the labor to install the transmission, which is an additional $210.80.
Mr. Perkins, what do you do for a living?
I'm an auto technician.
Okay. And I assume that you took this job, is that right? Because you were in a relationship with the plaintiff's daughter, is that right?
No.
No. Did you tell her that the cost of the transmission was going to be $450?
I did, Your Honor.
Good. Then that's what you're going to get, sir. $450. Now, I don't understand why you're here. I mean, you're here over an additional $200 for labor? Is that what you're here for?
Well, yes, Your Honor.
Well, forget it, sir. She gave you the $600 in good faith. That's what you told her it was originally going to be in all probability. Then you told her, well, this needs this, and this needs this, and an extra $250 or $260. She paid you for it.
Yes.
And then, well, now I took out this piece, and it needs this, and now it needs a new transmission. Well, she's a lay person. And there's a certain distrust that lay people have, I think, in all probability, more women than men, of mechanics, because most women have absolutely no idea of what goes on under the hood of a car. They know that they put their key in the ignition, they turn it on. If it starts, it starts. If it doesn't, it's broken, period. So if you had to put in a new transmission and she was prepared to pay you for the new transmission, you should have taken it, sir, and said, relationship's over. It didn't cost me anything. It didn't cost anything for these parts. She paid for all the parts. I want to leave this on a good note. Why didn't you say that?
Your Honor,
I know my name.
She paid for part of the cost of the transmission, which and in the original repair bill, the $600, I allowed her to make payments on. It's not something I normally do. I was gracious enough to do that. And then the transmission, when I took the car, she knew reverse was out of it. The reverse gear itself, the shaft, was broken.
Let me explain something to you. You think she understood all that?
Well,
do you think she understood all that?
Probably not.
Right. Now, what's wrong with the car?
Now?
Yeah.
Nothing. The new transmission's been installed.
Now, but you said it was hit by some
have the
drunk driver
accident
someplace.
report as well.
Yeah, there was a drunk driver that hit my roommate's car and pushed it into her car.
In front of his home.
And?
I had the car in storage because, legally speaking, if she were to come and had an extra set of keys, she could take it from the front of my shop.
Right. Then you sue her.
Right.
Listen to me. What you're doing is you're putting a mechanic's lien on the car.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yes.
Did you file a mechanic's lien?
No.
You didn't do anything. You did a de facto mechanic's lien on the car. You can't have your car until you give me the money.
Right.
Is that right? You put it in storage, but at some point you took it out of storage.
To take it back to the shop, yes.
Why?
Because to go back to the shop, then I would have it there for her to come down and pay the bill.
How long did you have it in storage?
Oh, about a week and a half.
Where?
The storage is about 2 miles from my home. It's just a little independent storage site, fenced in.
Uh-huh. Now, then you took it back and you put it in front of your house.
Well, yes, I had got it the evening
Well, yes, you
before
put
I
it in
had
front
gone
of your
to work.
house, and somebody pushed one car in front of your house into her car. Is there any damage, body damage to her car?
Yes.
You get nothing. You get Zippo. Because if you chose to do that, then you had an obligation, Mr. Perkins, to safeguard her car until you got it back to her, to a situation where she had possession of her car. If you chose not to do that and park it in front of your house and somebody hit your roommate's car, which then went into her car, you're responsible for her damage. Can I see photographs of the car, please, and the damage to the car?
We attempted to get those photos, and the police department sent the wrong photos, Your Honor.
Well, you don't know what's but you don't know the extent of the damage.
There is an estimate on the police report.
Let me see it.
Here.
Here's the estimate, and here's the police report if you want that.
Your Honor, may I interject something?
Yeah.
What hasn't been said here is that prior to this entire set of events, her husband had driven the car literally on top of a fire hydrant. So it had an amazing amount of extensive damage underneath prior to this.
Let me ask you this question, sir. You know about the damage that was caused to the car when your roommate's car hit it?
Yes, yes, I do.
Where was it damaged?
It was damaged in the rear. The bumper was bent and the two taillights were broke out.
Is that something that you can fix?
Certainly, Your Honor, it is.
And you can fix it in how long?
On that particular car, it'd take about 2.5 weeks with what I'm booked up with right now.
No, I don't care what you booked up with. Whatever you booked up with, you're going to put on a shelf. How long will it take to pull out the bumper and to fix the lights? An hour, 2 hours, 4 hours? How long will it take?
Oh, it actually take days, Your Honor. It's hard to get a hold of the lights for the car.
Okay. Within 5 days, he's going to fix the car. Do you understand?
Okay.
When he returns the car to you, and he must return it to you in 5 days, he will get a check for $250. Is that what
Yes,
the
ma'am.
balance that's owing? $250 for the transmission. That's
Yes.
what's left on the transmission. If he doesn't do that, we will give you a copy of this judgment, and you are permitted to enter his property, take your car back. He will get nothing. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. If he does not do it, you are free to refile the claim against him for the body damage on the car that was caused when it was in his possession. Clear?
Yes.
Do you understand that, Byrd?
I understand it.
Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. Well, I went into this business deal honestly and felt I was being treated dishonestly, and I think Judge Judy took care of it, that things will be handled.
All I've heard is what he's told me, is that they don't want to pay for the car, so they weren't getting it back.
I honestly think that it is over the car, but things didn't start going downhill with the car until he found out I was pregnant and decided that he didn't want to have anything more to do with me.
Oh, the whole pregnancy thing and all that. I don't know what to think or how to respond to that.
That's neither here nor there, so the damage is done, and we'll go on from here. We'll be fine.
One on the calendar in the matter of Honig versus Finley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Honig, Miss Findley is your former girlfriend. You spent some time at her home. You moved some of your stuff into her home. On Valentine's Day of this year, you really made her mad. It is your claim that she took all your stuff, she threw it out on the street, and destroyed a lot of it.
Yes.
Miss Findley says she was pretty angry on Valentine's Day, and she placed your stuff outside, and you probably took it away, right?
Yes, I did. I just placed it out there.
How long, Miss Findlay, had Mr. Honig been living at your house?
For approximately about a year.
And what stuff did he have in your house?
Oh, clothes, he's a guitar player in a band. He had some equipment, just little knickknacks, a small little dresser, just odds and ends. He'd been slowly but surely moving stuff in.
Okay. Now, on Valentine's Day of this year, what happened that precipitated your moving his stuff out?
He never came home on Valentine's Day.
Shh. Shh.
All day, all night.
Where were you?
I was working, Your Honor.
What kind of work do you do?
I am a professional musician. I also have a day job that work for a real estate broker. On that day, Valentine's Day, she was still sleeping when I woke up. I went to my day job, and I had a gig, you know, a performance that evening. I was expecting, you know, to get home around, you know, 2 or 3 in the morning, but...
Try looking at me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're up to 2, 3 in the morning.
Yes. Anyway, by the time I got to the drummer's house to unload the equipment, it was about 3. I was extremely exhausted and decided to sleep on the couch.
Okay. And your drummer's friend's name, is that Bobby?
That's Bob, yes.
Bob, because I saw that in your papers.
Yes.
And you called him at Bob's.
The next day, when I was really upset, I called around at his friends, and I finally found him at one of his friends, and I wanted to talk to him, and he wouldn't come to the phone. And that's when I said I was going to put his stuff out, but I allowed...
Your Honor...
Shh, just a second. He wouldn't come to the phone, so what did you do with his things?
After I gave it a while, I said he needed to come home or I was going to put his stuff out on the driveway by the street, and he never came. So I just packed it all up and I stuck it out there. But I allowed a
What time?
Okay, I found him in the morning, around afternoon, early afternoon.
Say 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
Around, approximately.
And what time did you get home, Mr. Honig?
About 3 in the afternoon.
And what did you find when you got there?
I found all my clothes, well, what was left of them, my possessions, stuff like my toothbrush, my hairbrush, bathroom items, just strewn all across.
Shh. I want to know what happened to your guitar, to your equipment. You have a computer that you talked about.
Computer, that's the things that I care about.
Just a second. Did you find the computer?
No, I didn't find the computer. I found pieces of software, pieces of like CD-ROMs.
That's not true. I put it all out. I put it all out there in one piece.
Miss Findlay, listen to me very carefully, madam. I have no doubt that most of the stuff you put out there, and you put it out in one piece. And then what did you do?
Then I went back in the house. I just left it there.
Then you went back into the house. What did you do when you went back into the house?
Waited. We just waited for him to come home, but he never did. I mean,
Did you ever see him come home?
No.
Did you fall asleep?
I just wasn't... Yes, I just went in my room, and I was just watching TV, thinking that he would come in and talk to me. But he just took his stuff and he left.
What kind of work do you do?
I work at a doctor's office.
What kind of work do you do at the doctor's office?
Just receptionist.
What kind of doctor?
Just a general practitioner.
How long have you worked for this doctor?
A couple years.
What are your work hours?
From 9 to 4.
Valentine's Day last year, what day of the week was it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Well, what were you doing home at 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
What was I doing home when? On Valentine's Day? I'd taken it off because I had to go to the dentist earlier that day.
You remember that?
Yes, I remember that, but I don't remember.
Shh. What's the name of the dentist you went to? Give me the dentist's
Dr.
name.
Old.
If I called Dr. Old, would Dr. Old say that you were at his office on Friday, Valentine's Day, February 14th of this year? Just answer my question.
No.
Want to get it together and give me the answer?
He made me mad, and I was home, but I didn't break his stuff.
That's a lie.
I did
Your
not.
Honor.
I didn't break his stuff, Your Honor.
Miss Findlay, why would you lie to me?
He's lying.
No, why would you lie to me? I don't care about him. Why would you lie to me? Now, let's start again. Who do you work for?
I work for a doctor.
Hmm?
I work for a doctor.
Name?
Dr. Old. That's who I work for.
What kind of a doctor is Dr. Roll?
General practitioner.
And Valentine's Day this past year was on a Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
Why weren't you at work?
So I called in.
Why?
Because I was mad at him.
So you called in sick on Valentine's Day? Oh.
I didn't destroy any of his property.
Yes, you did, madam. Yes, you did.
It wasn't there when I got there.
Mr. Honig.
Okay. Sorry, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm sorry.
You destroyed his property, madam. If he had been living with you for a year, you have an obligation. And you have an obligation, and that is to safeguard his property. If you decide to put him out, if you decide that you no longer want to live with him, you have to give him an opportunity to remove his things. You can't have a hissy fit and throw his things out and expect there to be no repercussions. There are repercussions to that. You have a legal obligation not to take his things and throw them out, put them out, place them on a street curb. And you have a double obligation that when you come into court, if a judge asks you a question, you don't lie.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't have any big stuff of his. I don't want anything of his.
Yeah, I bet you want that computer.
Listen to me very carefully. You've already lied to me once. It's not going to happen again. Do you understand?
Yes.
And later today,
she asked me if I could loan her some money.
Brenda took the money out of her account and deposited it into my daughter's account.
I didn't borrow the money.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Barry Honig says ex-girlfriend Lynn Fendley owes for trashing his belongings. Lynn says Barry stayed out all night on Valentine's Day.
Now I want to ask you this question, sir. I want you to be very careful, Mr. Honig. I want you to tell me all the things that were at home that you claim were either taken or destroyed or stolen from the street curb after she put it out.
Okay. A guitar.
And how much was the guitar, sir?
Roughly $1,500, a little more, $1,550.
You have the receipt for that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, the guitar, which
That's
you
the
did put
guitar.
outside. Is that right, Miss Findley?
Yes, I did put his guitar out.
What else?
Okay, an amplifier. I have the receipt for that.
How much was the amplifier?
$950.
Did you put out the amplifier, Miss Findley?
Yes, I did.
What else?
My laptop and the stuff that went along with it, the software, the adapters,
Did
that
you
sort
put
of
that
stuff.
out, Miss Findley?
Yes, I did.
Really? Do you have a computer yourself?
No.
Do you use a computer? Do you use a computer?
No, I don't. Not.
I don't believe you, and I don't
play
believe you put
around
it out.
on a computer, but I'm not computer literate.
No, the guitar and the amplifier, I believe. I'm not so sure I believe she put out your laptop. What else?
Tools, clothing, CDs, socks, more,
All right, Miss
more
Findley.
CDs.
All right,
That's
Miss-
what I have here.
All right, Miss Findley, I believe that you have some of his property still in your house, and I want you to listen to me very carefully. You've already lied to me once. It's not going to happen again. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you to tell me what of his property you still have in your house.
I really don't have it. Just like CD. Just I have a few CDs
Come
and
on,
stuff.
let's go. Okay, now we have a few CDs.
That's all I have. I don't have any big stuff of his. I don't want anything of his.
Yeah, I bet you want that computer.
Miss Findley, I believe that you are lying to me when you say that you do not have his computer or all of his CDs. I believe that you disposed of the things that you have absolutely no use for. That is his guitar, which he probably likes, his amplifier, which you have no use for, and his clothes, which merely make a statement. I believe that you have his computer and his CDs in your home. Do you understand what I just said?
Yes, I do, but
do
I
you
don't-
understand what I just said? I believe that you have it at home. And I'm going to tell you that you are going to pack up that stuff and you're going to make sure that he gets it. 5 days from today, I will give you an order that says you may go to her home in the company of a police officer, and she is to have that stuff boxed up. $2,500 is what I find that these two items, the guitar and the amplifier, are worth, which I do believe she disposed of by throwing them outside, along with your clothes. Probably worth another $500. The other thing she has in the house, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000 for these two items and your clothes. The other items are to be packed up and returned to him in 5 days. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Lynn is an obvious liar.
I don't have his stuff, so how can they get his stuff if I don't have it?
I don't think that she threw the computer out. I think the judge is right on that. She probably still has it.
I stuck it outside, and what happened to it after that, I'm not sure.
I guess justice is served, but we'll see if I ever get my computer back.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jernigan versus Coffin, step forward, please.
Airplane production controller Brenda Jernigan is suing her boyfriend's daughter, 23-year-old administrative assistant Crystal Coffin, for an unpaid loan to pay bills.
Miss Jernigan, I assume that this is your boyfriend.
Yes, it is.
And this is his daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that you made a loan to Miss Coffin,
yes,
your boyfriend's daughter, in the amount of $2,000, that she's made some payments on the loan, but she still owes you a little over $1,700. Miss Coffin said she'd never borrowed any money from you. She took some money that her father gave her, but she doesn't owe you anything. So tell me about this loan.
Okay, John and I have known each other for almost 5 years now. He is Crystal's father. We moved in together in September of 2000. And soon after that, in December, I decided to loan Crystal $2,000.
Well, tell me how that came about.
John kept getting numerous phone calls from Crystal about getting behind on her car payments and the rent and the electric bills and the water bills. So he didn't have the money at the time, so I decided that I would loan it to her. It took me a couple of weeks to decide.
Just a minute. At what point did she have a discussion with you, if ever?
I did talk with Crystal sometime around the second week in December of 2000, and she just told me that she needed to get up to date on her car payments. She asked me if I could loan her some money, and I finally agreed a couple of weeks later to do so, and that's when her dad called her.
Why didn't you call her?
Because he decided he wanted to handle things with his daughter.
Fine, step up. What's your last name?
Coffin.
Mr. Coffin, then you had a conversation with your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you say to her?
I told Crystal that Brenda could let her borrow $2,000, and that would help her pay her credit cards off.
What did she say to you?
Get caught up. She told me that would be fine if I could get it to her as soon as possible. So we went down. Brenda took the money out of her account. I took the money, took it into the bank in South Carolina, and deposited it into my daughter's North Carolina account.
Is that about right, Miss Coffin?
No. I called my father and asked him if he could give me some money because the house bills were past due. I could not afford to keep the house bills caught up because I was trying to keep my own bills, my car payment, and my credit cards caught up.
Well, whose house is it?
It's his house. Well, a house he rents in his name.
What do you mean he rents in his name?
I live there, but the house lease is still in his name.
But you live there?
Yes, ma'am.
With whom?
My younger sister.
How old is she?
She is currently 21.
Okay. So he moved out of the house and told you that you could stay in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
And you left the two girls in the house, and what was the arrangement with regard to the rent?
Well, I was still paying the rent at the time I moved out.
When did you stop?
Probably a year later.
So you paid the rent on the house
and the
for a
electric
year
bill
while your
water
two
bill.
girls were living there?
Yes.
And when did you decide to stop paying the rent?
I got a job in South Carolina, moved to South Carolina. My son moved in with the girls, and they said they would take care of the bills.
So far, is that correct, Miss Coffin?
No, ma'am. My brother actually lived with my father for several months before he moved home. My father called me and asked me, will you call your brother and ask him to come help you? And I said yes. He was still giving money for the rent, but he stopped, and I took over paying the rent.
Okay, well, that's why you were living there.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. So they were your bills. At that point, your father hadn't been there in some time.
Right.
And he had, in fact, paid the rent and the bills for a period of time, even when he wasn't living there.
Up to a point, yes, ma'am.
But then he said, now you kids are grown-ups, you're over 21, you're on your own, pay your own bills.
Right.
And you got behind.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead, let me hear the rest.
I asked him if he could afford to send me some money to help get caught up on the bills that were past due. He said that he would see what he could do. If he could come up with the money in some way, he would. He called me back and said that he was able to come up with $2,000 and that he would deposit the money into my account and that it should hit sometime the next afternoon.
Are you telling me, Ms. Coffin, that you never had a conversation with Ms. Jernigan about money?
I had a conversation with Ms. Judy. Yes, ma'am.
And what was the conversation?
She asked me to list all the bills that I was behind on and to tell her which ones I thought were the most important. And I said, well, the only bills I'm really concerned about you needing help with from my father are the house bills, because the other bills are my bills.
They're all your bills. You live there. So you have to pay your rent. Now, what I want to know is, one gets the sense that you fully understood that your father didn't have this money, that the $2,000 was coming from Miss Jernigan. And I say that because you had a conversation with her about how much money you needed and what you needed the money for. And but for the fact that you thought that perhaps she could help you with that money, why would you discuss your financial matters with a stranger?
My father asked me to talk to her about it.
Why?
Because he was going to try to get the money from her, and she wanted to know where the money was going and what it was for.
Okay. So you understood that your father didn't have the money, and that if you were going to borrow the money, it was going to be from her.
I didn't borrow the money from her.
Why would she give you money?
I understood that he was going to get the money from her to give to me.
According to Ms. Jernigan, she's not even asking you for any interest. She received $230 from you. You have a balance of $1,770.
Yes.
You have a note there, Ms. Jernigan, that you indicate in your complaint that the defendant sent you sometime in 2002.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see it. It says, sorry about all the delays. I will try to send something every month from now on. Love, Crystal.
Yes, ma'am.
So?
That was last summer, I believe June or July of 2002. Brenda's mother had passed away, and my father came down for the funeral. He told me that she was emotionally distraught because of all of the bills that had accumulated while she was not able to work, while she was taking care of her mother, and that she was giving him a little bit of a hard time about not having made any payments to her. And he came to me at work and said, I need you to give me some money so that I can give Brenda some money, just so that she'll feel a little bit better.
Good. That's a good thing that you gave her the money because you took it from her. And your apology is very clear. Sorry about all the delays because you didn't feel like following through. You owe her the money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,770. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I was a little shocked that the judge saw it the way that she did.
If I'd have had the money, I would have loaned it to her.
My father is trying to make me responsible for his debt.
I was trying to help Crystal out in a time of need.
I'm thankful that my father was able to help me out in my time of need.
I would love to see all three of us get, but I don't know if that can happen.
This woman and I have nothing further to say or see each other for any reason.
I love my daughter to death, and I always will.
Case number 52 on the calendar in the matter of Bainbridge versus Simpkins. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Bainbridge, you and the defendant had been married and you have 2 children together. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What your complaint alleges is, pursuant to the judgment of divorce, your former wife got possession of a car.
Yes.
And she was to make all the payments on the car, maintain the insurance on the car, and you were held harmless by the court for any further responsibility for the car because it was going to be her car.
Yes, ma'am.
Subsequently, you ascertained that she filed for bankruptcy and listed the credit company that had made the car loan as a creditor, and that debt was discharged in bankruptcy, her bankruptcy.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are on the hook for the car.
Yes, ma'am.
And you think that's unfair.
Yes, ma'am.
And Ms. Simpkins states that she was forced to file for bankruptcy because of your lack of child support, and that you were noticed in the bankruptcy as someone who had to be noticed because of your on-paper obligation.
Right, at the time I was in NTC.
You were what?
I was in the military away on training.
And therefore, she's not responsible. So I need some information from both of you. When were you married?
We were married March 10th of 96.
March 30th.
30th, okay.
I always should ask the woman that question. March 30th of 1996. When were you separated?
July 25th of 1999.
That you remember?
Exactly. The date and time.
Any particular reason you remember that date and time?
Oh, it's when World War III started.
That's when the locks were changed.
Yeah.
That's when the locks were changed. July 25th, 1999. And when were you divorced?
September of 2000.
And who's going to show me a copy of the judgment of divorce?
I will.
Are you still in the armed forces, sir?
No, ma'am, I'm not.
When were you discharged?
February of this year.
Do you have an order of support for the children, sir? Because this judgment of divorce indicates that you have deferred all issues of custody and support to a juvenile and domestic relations court. Was that ever done?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a copy of that order?
I do not have a copy of my child
With
support.
me. He's ordered to pay $805 a month if he exercises 90-plus days of visitation a year with the children, and if he does not, he's ordered to pay $896 a month, and he does not. He's never exercised visitation with the children.
All right. Ms. Simpkins, when did you file for bankruptcy?
We filed in September of 2001.
Why?
And it was discharged. Why?
Yeah.
Because bills just got out of, I just couldn't make it anymore.
So for how many months did he not pay child support?
He didn't pay it at all for 3 months, and then I got...
That's incorrect, Your Honor.
And then I got in contact with his commanding officer, and I had to forward documents, and I said 805 because at that point my mother was helping me with child care, and that was a fair amount, and I could support the kids on. And then later on, the 805 was coming, and then Jason and I talked, and my mother wasn't able to watch the kids, and he was supposed to bump his child support up to the 896. And that never happened, and the military said they couldn't do anything about it. And so I was kind of stuck until he came home. And
well, whatever. It was 805. You were getting $805
getting,
a month pursuant to a court order, and it was coming right out of his pay.
Right. I was getting, but that was almost $100 short a month.
Well, he says that he's got proof that he paid that money.
Here's a signed letter from me and my wife, ex-wife, the month that I went into the military, as far as my taxes were concerned. Our tax return was going to be applied for.
Then he still didn't pay after that.
Well, it seems, Ms. Simpkins, that based upon this agreement that the two of you signed, this wasn't somebody who didn't pay child support. He paid child support, and when he was going into the military and there was going to be a hiatus, the two of you made an arrangement, whereas his tax returns were going to be split. You were going to get so much money, and he was going to get so much money on the returns. It's not as if he was a deadbeat.
No,
so I find that your excuse that it was his fault that you filed for bankruptcy somewhat disingenuous.
Well, that was for a previous. I mean, after he went in and that money was applied, there was still no child support until I hunted him down.
You don't have to hunt him down. What you have to do is you have to apply for your allotment. That's what you do.
He had told me that he was going to Fort Bragg.
Yes.
He didn't go to Fort Bragg.
Well, who do you think that he has the ability to say, I want to go to Fort Bragg?
Well, no, but they told me that's where he told me that's where he was going to be stationed.
Maybe that's where they told him he was going. You think he was trying to fool you?
Yes.
You think he was trying to fool you? No, no.
When I went away for basic training, Your Honor, I was going to Fort Jackson, and that's where I told her it was. And they found I was colorblind. I couldn't go.
Listen to me very carefully, madam. You may have filed for bankruptcy, and between you and the creditor who you owed money to on the car, the bankruptcy court relieved you of that obligation. However, you have a judgment of divorce.
Right.
You agreed to accept sole responsibility for the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Your judgment of divorce provides that if you don't do that, you are to indemnify him. Make him whole. Because it's your car. Where's the car, by the way?
We turned it in. I turned it into the car.
When did you turn it in?
Oh, gosh. I want to say September of that year.
September of what year?
2000.
And when did you file for bankruptcy?
Not until 2001.
So if you turned it in, you turned it in at the exact same time as you were divorced. And then all you wanted to do was clean your slate. So you turned the car in and you obligated him at the moment that you got a divorce.
No.
Yeah, you did.
No.
Sure you did. That was slick. Oh, that was slick.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You assume the responsibility yourself. You're a big girl.
You're
big enough to make... That's baloney.
That is not.
That's baloney.
And later today...
I don't care whether they're divorced or not. If she were the custodial parent and he came to me and said, well, we're not divorced yet, so I'm not paying for anything, I would wipe up the floor with him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jason Bainbridge says ex-wife Jennifer Simpkins filed bankruptcy on a car in his name. Jason says the creditor is making him responsible for payments.
Why didn't you consent to him having both cars in the judgment of divorce?
Because the divorce was bad and messy, and it was just...
Why didn't you say, here, you take both cars? Maybe you can sell them, maybe you won't get stuck with it. Instead, he's singing along for a year thinking you've got the car, you're making payments.
No, he knew.
You're making payments on the car.
Right.
You're making payments on the car. He's making payments on the other car, I assume.
No, that car, he turned that car in for repossession as well, so he wasn't making payments on that.
That's not true, Your Honor. My father actually paid it off.
After it was repossessed.
So somebody paid it off, so somebody got it off his credit. Well, that's what your parents should have done with your obligation.
No, it's not their job.
It's not his job. You assume the responsibility yourself. You're a big girl.
He wasn't
You're big enough to make
support.
That's baloney.
That is not.
That's baloney.
No, ma'am.
How much did you owe on the car?
According to them, it's $4,353.10.
Let me see it. And that will clear your credit?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you called them with regard to settling this account?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, and what will they say it will take to settle it?
Just the $4,350, what's stated on that piece of paper.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,353.10. Madam, you have to be a grown-up. You obligate yourself to do something, you have to do it. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It was World War III. We didn't get along very well, but she needed to take care of her end of the obligation.
He left a lot of times, and I changed the locks, and that was it.
This is only one of many things that she maliciously did to me.
There was other women involved.
I can't buy a house. I can't get a car. I got to get judgment on my credit, so now I got to get an attorney to get that off my credit.
For our children, he doesn't bother with them now, so I don't think he'll ever be a major part of their life.
It's been an everyday occurrence as far as her trying to get her payment on the vehicle. I'm glad it's finally over with and justice is perfect.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Tarter versus Hughes. Step forward, please.
Bus driver Catherine Tarter is suing her estranged son-in-law, 25-year-old salesman Donald Hughes, for the cost of a trailer. Donald says Catherine is angry about his pending divorce from her daughter.
Miss Tarter, the defendant is your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law. And
Yes.
according to your complaint, he owes you some money for a trailer. Is that right?
Yes.
The defendant says he's paid you a substantial amount of money for the trailer, doesn't owe you any more. You have the motorhome that went with the trailer. He doesn't have it in his possession. It's not on his property. I assume this is your daughter?
Yes.
How long have you been married?
4 years, Your Honor.
You have children?
Yes, I do.
How many children?
I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, and then I had 2 sons that came with the marriage that are still dear to me.
And who does that child live with?
I have sole custody.
Is that after a hearing, after a trial?
Yes.
Does their mother have visitation with the children?
No, she does. She has 2 hours supervised visits a week.
Does she exercise the visitation?
Sometimes.
Prior to the divorce, did you have a reasonable relationship with Mr. and Mrs. Tarter?
Yes, I did.
Is that right?
Yes.
How many children do you have?
I have 2 girls.
How many grandchildren do you have?
3.
How much money was this trailer?
It was $4,000.
Just for the trailer?
Just for the trailer, and the motorhome was $4,000, so they agreed upon $8,000.
And how much do you say it was, sir?
It was $4,000 altogether for both of them.
Is there a writing with regard to that?
We had a verbal agreement.
Is there a writing with regard to that, is my question.
No.
How much have you paid them for the trailer?
I paid them $1,950 for the trailer and the motorhome together.
But you only have the
I only have the trailer.
trailer. Did Mr. Hughes pay you $1,950?
No, ma'am.
How much did he pay you?
The motorhome broke down.
I'm not talking about the motorhome.
Okay, well,
He doesn't have the motorhome.
He paid us, I know, they returned it, so therefore all the payments that were paid individually towards the motorhome and the trailer were forfeited. And they were always...
Forfeited by whom?
By us. It was written down where when he paid us money, that $75 would go towards the motorhome and $75 would go towards the trailer. When one was given back in case they decided they couldn't afford it, or that it broke down, which the motorhome did, and they couldn't afford to fix it. They gave it back to us. So therefore, the motorhome payments, which were $425, was forfeited, and then $425 was credited towards the utility trailer.
All I'm asking you is that in writing someplace?
I typed up a legal contract because
Did he
at first
sign it?
He refused to sign it.
The answer is you do not. Shh. You do not have that in writing. Is that correct?
My daughter signed it, and
I don't care what your daughter signed, madam. I mean, I happen to think that you're missing a few screws, and I'm going to tell you why. You have a year-and-a-half-old granddaughter. Your soon-to-be ex-son-in-law has sole custody, which suggests to me that if you want to maintain a relationship, and it seems to me you enjoyed a reasonable relationship with him before, if you want to enjoy a reasonable relationship with your granddaughter, you should keep him on your good side and not sue him, because it would appear to me that your daughter had to be a pretty deficient person in order to end up at the end of a custody dispute with 2 hours a week supervised visitation. Do we understand each other?
Yes, ma'am.
Why would a normal person who has 3 grandchildren risk the wrath of their custodial parent over nonsense? Over nonsense. He's paid your money. And how much child support is your daughter paying for her daughter?
She's not, and they're not divorced yet.
I don't care whether they're divorced or not. If she were the custodial parent and taking care of the child, and he came to me and said, in the course of a legal dispute, and I said to him, how much money are you paying for child support? And he said, well, we're not divorced yet, so I'm not paying for anything. I would wipe up the floor with him.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Tarter says her estranged son-in-law, Donald Hughes, owes for the cost of a trailer. Donald says his soon-to-be ex-wife is a drug addict.
Now, I asked you a simple question. The simple question was, how much money was paid to you by him for either the trailer and or the motorhome?
$425 for the trailer and $425 for the motorhome.
Are you passive-aggressive? How much money was paid in total for both things? Just don't give me $425 for each. How much money do you say was paid in total?
$850.
Okay. And you say $1950.
Yes, I do.
Could you prove that to me?
No, I can't. I have no receipts due to my house being taken from my wife, and then when I got my house back, I had no paperwork, no receipts, no pink slips.
They say $850. What makes you think it was $1950?
Because I paid on time, sometimes a couple days late, but every month was paid since October of 2002 until December of 2003.
So far, is that right?
No, Your Honor. I have a payment schedule here showing.
See.
They were to pay $26 for insurance.
I'm not talking about insurance. I'm talking about how much money he actually paid to you. Okay. $1,450 is, by your calculations, what he paid to you. Not $850, $1,450, based upon this.
Your Honor, those payments were divided up between the motorhome and the trailer equally.
I just told you, he doesn't have the motorhome. You do.
No, we sold it since then.
Well, that's not my problem. That's not his problem.
Well, I asked him to return the motorhome when he refused the one payment and took it back.
Miss Tarter, you're not following me. If you think they owe you anything for the motorhome, get it from your daughter. Do I make myself clear? You are a very foolish lady. A very foolish lady. If I were in your position, I would not alienate the father, the custodial parent of my granddaughter. I would not alienate him. And for a very stupid reason, money. You did.
This has been going on for over a year.
No, that's not true. Because December of 2003, which is not over a year, he made a payment to you of $500. That's according to your own record.
But we sold it to him on March '03, is when the trailer and the motorhome was sold to them.
Did you hear what I said to you? It's not been going on for over a year. He made a payment to you of $500 in December of 2003.
Yes, he caught it.
When was the last time your daughter sent any money for the support of his child?
March. That's not an issue. They're not divorced
It's
yet.
an issue, madam, if you're using your brains.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
March of 2003. Was she employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where was she employed?
At Child Time.
Until when?
October of 2003.
And what did she do with her money?
I thought she was paying bills, but she wasn't. She was using it on drugs.
Was she placed in a rehab?
I placed her in a rehab in January.
Did she stay?
She stayed for 60 days, Your Honor. And then she was supposed to go to a halfway house, and she ended up getting kicked out of there for doing it again, drinking.
Where are her other two children?
One lives with his father, and the other one lived with the grandparents.
Ms. Tarter, I find that the defendant has paid you $1,450 for a trailer. I find that your agreement was $4,000 for the trailer and the motorhome, not $8,000. Whatever deficiency there is, I suggest you get it from your daughter. Your case is dismissed, that's all.
Parties are excused and they step out.
I don't want my daughter to not see her mom or her grandparents or anything, but I see where the daughter gets it from.
He's refused me custody of my daughter. He's refused me parental rights to my daughter, visitation to my daughter, and everything else. I've done everything that the courts have asked me to do.
She kidnapped my daughter from when we were getting Christmas pictures. She ran me over with a car.
I was having meth at the time.
Her drug use, it just kind of tore the whole family apart.
I told him to bring the trailer back or I would report it stolen. He says, well, you might as well report it stolen and you can kiss your granddaughter goodbye because you're never going to see her again.
Hopefully it'll work out. I really do, because it's not about me, her, or the grandparents. It's actually about the children.
Versus Natterzad. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Pierce, is this your daughter?
Yes, ma'am.
And who is this?
My name's Emily Natterzad.
Okay. What's your first name?
Alexandra Pierce.
Alexandra, I'd like you and
Emily
to cover up your shoulders. We're not at the beach. Thank you. Here we go. According to what I read, Mr. Pierce, your daughter was using your car, and at some point, the defendant's son drove your car.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, he drove the car, at least for a moment, with your daughter's permission. But then, according to you, he exceeded that permission and burned out the clutch, causing serious damage to that thing which you have over there, which I'm not even going to try to understand.
That is correct.
What is your name?
Noah Natterzad.
Now, Noah and his father say that he had your daughter's permission, and there was no way that he could have caused the kind of damage that you say he caused. So, Alexandria, they call you Alex?
Yes.
Alex, where were you, and when did this incident take place with Noah?
It was on May 12th. I was driving to her house, and from
Driving to whose house?
Emily's house. I arrived at her house, and Noah came out from the garage and said, Alex, you're parked wrong. Do you want me to repark your car? And I said, sure, just simply.
What time was this?
Probably around 12 or 1 o'clock.
In the afternoon?
Yes.
Why didn't you go out and park the car yourself?
I don't know. I trusted him. I've known them for like 7 years. I mean, I didn't know he could damage it by just simply turning it around.
If you've known him a long time, you know that he's only 15 years old.
No, I didn't know that. He had taken Emily's car in the past and gone and gotten us food and stuff like that. I've seen him drive her car before.
Okay, so you handed him the keys to your car?
Yes. Just to repark the car, though.
Mm-hmm.
Then 20 minutes later, he comes back.
Go ahead.
And I was thinking, oh my gosh, where is he the whole time? And so I run outside, and the car stinks. It's smelling of like some really pungent, awful smell. And I figured, oh, what a dork. He just probably drive with the parking brake on. And I asked him, I said, Noah, what'd you do? And he just like ran back into his little computer thing and didn't answer me. So we ended up taking her car and going to the mall. And then we come back at around 10 o'clock, and the car still smells really, really bad. So I figured, oh God, there's obviously something wrong. So I tried to get in my car, and I tried to do the clutch thing, and there was no power at all. And the dad was in the garage trying to fix something, and I passed by him, and I went in the house, and I said, Emily, you know what, the car's not working at all. Something's wrong with it.
What kind of car is this, by the way?
An Audi TT.
Go ahead.
So she's like, you know what, my brother is such a jerk. He's like, I promise you, if he did anything wrong, we'll pay for it. And I was like, you know what, yeah, I hope so. I promise you she said that. And then we walked back outside, and she's like, we'll talk to my dad. He's really good about cars. So we talked to her dad, and he tried to drive the car, and he saw for himself that the car was not working properly. You could not even hardly move the car.
So he got behind the wheel of your car?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And he tried to drive it?
Yes.
Is that right, sir?
Somewhat.
Don't tell me somewhat. Did you get behind the wheel of her car and try to drive it? Then just say yes.
Yes, I did.
Good. So that means that she complained about the car immediately, right?
Right.
And I had said to him, I said, that early that day, Noah drove my car, and I drove here, and the car was perfectly fine. Then I got back, and it didn't work at all.
Fine. Now, Noah.
Yes.
You know who I am, right?
Yes.
And you know the one thing you don't want to do is say anything that's not true here. Because if you do, it will be the sorriest day you've seen in your 15 years.
Yes.
You believe me, don't you?
Yep, I do.
What your father will do to you is nothing compared to what I can do to you. Now, when Alex came to your house, where was her car parked that was a problem?
Well, it has to be parked on the flow of traffic. So if you're going down the hill, it needs to be parking going down. She came on the opposite side, which would be the up side, and you get tickets if you do that. And I've seen it happen before.
Good.
So I was
So you went
from her.
inside and you told her...
I told her that your car is parked in the wrong spot, and she'll get a ticket because I've seen it happen before.
And what did she say to you?
She said, go park my car on the other side.
Great.
Yes.
So far, we're in sync.
Yes.
So you went out, you took the keys,
Yes, I did.
and you turned her car around.
Yes.
But you didn't come right back inside, Noah.
I didn't come right back inside. Maybe...
Right.
It was not...
Shh. So you turned the car around, and then you decided to go someplace else. Where did you go?
I went a couple houses down to my friend Jake's house. I didn't turn it around first. First, I went down to him, showed him the car, and he was going to come back up to my house with me because he was coming over. So I was going to bring him up, but then I stalled it once, and then the clutch was stiff.
Noah.
Yes.
What you did was you exceeded your authority. She gave you the authority to turn her car around and park it. Was your sister's car there?
No, it wasn't. Or, yeah, her car was there because she was home.
Right.
Yes.
So if you wanted to go someplace, you could have used your sister's car, right?
Yes.
Do you have a driver's license?
No.
But you've driven your sister's car before.
I've never driven it. She said that...
Shut up. So what you're telling me is you never drove your sister's car.
I've never driven my sister's car.
Did you ever drive your father's car?
Yeah, because I have my permit, but with him in the car with me.
Okay, and what kind of a car does he have?
An Armada, Nissan.
Does it have an automatic or a
Automatic.
manual? So the only time you've driven a car is, according to you, when you're permitted to by driving the car with your father,
Yes.
which is an automatic.
Yes.
So that when you got behind the wheel of Alex's car and you realized that it was a manual transmission, which is totally different, which I know I couldn't drive, and I've been driving for longer than you've been born, and she's been born, and she's been born, I would say, gee, I don't know how to drive this car. I couldn't get it from one gear to the next. Turn off the key, go inside, and say, Alex, I thought your car was an automatic. It's not an automatic, and I don't know how to drive a manual transmission. You better move your car around.
But I have friends who drive manual, and it's a guy's thing to know that if it's like
It's a guy's
no,
thing?
I'm just saying,
Is that what you're telling me?
it's like
It's a guy's thing? You're born with that. You know how to drive manual. Is that what you're telling me? No,
Well,
I
it's a
told
common-
you. I told you. You don't want to look like an idiot in front of your sister and your father and 10 million other people.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Once you took it and it exceeded the permission she had given you, you stole it. Let me tell you, don't shake your head no, I'm telling you yes.
And later today,
You sold a used car to friends.
Well, frenemies, yes.
What did she say?
Frenemies.
Frenemies?
Yeah, I was kind of making a joke.
Only Byrd makes jokes here.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 20-year-old Alexandra Pierce says her former friend's little brother, 15-year-old Noah Nadazad, burned out the clutch on her 2000 Audi TT.
Now, what you're telling me is you never drove a manual transmission except for her car.
Yes.
Do you understand now where your problem is?
I understand what my problem is, yes.
Good. This is your problem.
Actually, I have something to say. Now that I remember, she has let me driven her car before.
She has let you driven her car before?
She always does. She's given like 2 or 3 times before.
Just a second. So, Noah, what you're telling me...
Yes.
What you're telling me now is you lied to me a moment ago when you said that the only time you were behind the wheel of a car was when your father took you out pursuant to your permit in his car, which is an automatic. So you lied to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Look over here.
Yes, ma'am.
And you lied to me when you said that you would never drive a car without somebody's permission.
I would never drive a car without...
She always gives them.
Oh,
that's stealing.
No, listen to me.
Yeah.
But you did, because Alex gave you permission to turn her car around. Once you took it and it exceeded the permission she had given you, you stole it. Let me tell you, don't shake your head no, I'm telling you yes. That's the law. Let me give you an example that maybe you'll understand better. If you go to a parking lot and you hand the keys to your car to an attendant, and the attendant in the parking lot takes the keys, like you did, and the attendant takes your car to Bayonne, New Jersey, and wrecks it, have you stolen that car? Yes. By him taking the keys, and he was supposed to park the car. He didn't take the car. He took it out, picked up his girlfriend, and went out for dinner to a fish restaurant in Bayonne. That's stealing. Do you understand that?
Yes, but
you
can I just explain something?
stole the car as soon as you did anything other than turn it around and park it.
Can I explain something real quick?
Yes.
Okay.
It's getting better.
On the way to turning around the car is where my friend lives.
You're lying. You're making it up as you're going, because you just said to me a moment ago, before I turned the car around, I went to see my friend who lives a couple of houses down. Let me see what you wrote here in your answer.
All right.
Actually, that was my
I'm
answer.
speaking.
That was my answer.
I am speaking.
I know, but that was my answer.
Well, I assume you didn't make it up out of your pants, sir. I assume you got the information from your son.
I don't usually
So then,
do that.
good. So then be quiet. You said he went down the street to pick up a friend and had trouble driving the car because he doesn't know how to drive a stick shift very well. And the car kept stalling. That's what you wrote.
Right.
Okay. As soon as he exceeded the authority that she gave him to turn the car around and park it, your son stole the car. And anything that happens to that car while he has it, which is clear to me, trouble happened to that car, because immediately she said, could you please help me with this car? You got behind the wheel of the car that day. You tried to drive it yourself. Your excuse is that it's not possible for him to have damaged the car during that period of time. You now have the burden of proof. Prove to me that he didn't damage the clutch.
Okay, well, first I'd like to start with...
Start with nothing.
No.
Start with exactly what I said.
Are you going to allow me to set my case or not?
Start exactly...
Are you going to allow me to set my case or not?
Start with exactly what I told you.
What?
I've said to you, he stole that
No,
by
that
law...
is not true, because there was no parameter for what she told him to do.
Listen to me, sir. He already testified that he went inside...
Because you're not letting him finish.
I'm speaking.
Yeah.
He already testified that the reason he went inside was because she was parked the wrong way on his street, that he went inside and said, you parked the wrong way, and she said, would you turn it around for me? That's what he says. Now, just get to my point, which is...
I will get to your point as soon as you allow me to set my case.
Good.
Okay? Is that fair?
Listen, now that, let me tell you something. You don't run this shop, sir.
No.
I run this shop.
Right.
And unless you're going to get to the point, which is, you have to demonstrate to me that in the time
I need a fair chance, though.
Sir, can I see the cost of repairing the clutch on the car? Going to give him a quick lesson in responsibility. And if you are the person from whom he's learning responsibility, he's in serious trouble. Because when you do something wrong, you're supposed to accept responsibility, put a period, and move on. Your son did something wrong. You accept responsibility and you move on. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,624. That's all.
I think someone who's an adult should not give a key to a minor.
He just obviously took advantage of the car and redlined it a million times. We'll never be friends. She's done this before. It's just the type of person she is. I didn't want our friendship to end up like this, but obviously it did, and I feel bad for Noah.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Pounders versus Mansour, step forward, please.
28-year-old student Sarah Pounders is suing her former friends, Tamara and Michelle Mansour, for the unpaid balance on a Saturn SL1. The couple claims Sarah forgave the debt.
Miss Pounders, you violated one of my first rules of life. You sold a used car to friends. Right?
Well, frenemies, yes.
What did she say?
Frenemies.
Friendemies?
Yeah, I was kind of making a joke. You know how friend and enemies, the word together is frenemies.
Frenemies.
Only Byrd makes jokes here.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Sarah Pounders claims former friends Tamara and Michelle Mansour conned her out of a Saturn SL1.
Okay, when did you sell them the car?
On March 4th of this 2004.
What kind of a car was it?
A 1997 SL1 Saturn.
Car that you liked?
Yes.
Thought it was a good deal?
The deal was good. It worked out good because she would let us make payments, and we were in the process of buying a house, so it worked out really good.
So it was a good deal?
Yes.
So why didn't you finish making the payments?
Because Oliver and me used to be
That's Oliver.
Correct. We used to be really good friends, best friends for a while, and I used to live in the same apartment complex as Sarah. They ended up being friends, they were dating for a while, and then they broke up. And then in between, when I saw Sarah on and off, she would always say, oh, I miss Oliver, I miss Oliver. One day, me and my wife were talking, we really needed to get a second car, and so we coincidentally came home and saw a for sale sign on Sarah's car. And I went and talked to her. Oliver was with me that day when I went to see her, so she was excited to see him.
Get to the point. You bought the car.
Well, it leads up to it because it's hard to, when we got home, there was a note on our door from Sarah saying that I'll take $200 down and I'll take $200 a month. You don't have to pay it on the first. If there's a problem with the car, you can take it off the payments, and that was
Show
it.
me the note.
I don't have the note on me, but I don't think she'd deny the fact that she wrote it.
Yeah, I read him a note, something like
And
that.
what was said in the note? Let's see if we agree what the note said. That she would take $3,600.
Yes.
Take payments of $200 a month.
Certainly.
That you didn't have to make the payments on the first of the month.
Right.
And that if there was something that went wrong with the car, they could deduct that from the money.
Right.
That was an idiotic thing to say.
I know, I agree.
But you agree that you wrote it?
Yes.
What else did the note say?
That was the most important part. The rest was just...
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So you decided to buy the car.
Yeah.
Now I got the backstory. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Get on with it. Why did you stop making payments on the car?
Later on, me and Sarah were talking on the phone, and she said, oh, I'm so happy that you hooked me up with Oliver that I'm not worried about it. You can just keep the car. Word for word.
And you said, don't be ridiculous. We had an arrangement. I'm glad that you and my friend Oliver are back together again, and I wouldn't think of taking advantage of our friendship like that. Of course I'm going to continue to make payments. At what point in the conversation did you say that, sir?
I didn't say that, because Sarah doesn't need to worry about money. She's a trust fund baby.
Maybe that's why you think that you didn't have to pay her.
I didn't have to pay her because she said that.
Did you say that to him?
I absolutely did not.
Absolutely not. If she wanted to give you the car, she would have given you the car. I don't believe you.
Well,
I don't believe you.
her,
And you want to know something? If I don't believe you, then you're a liar.
Well,
because
I'm
it
not
doesn't
a
make.
liar.
Oh, yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No.
And not only that, but you're
You
not
don't know Sarah
honorable.
either.
Not only that, but you're not honorable. What do you want to show me?
I am honorable because after
He's
that,
on
I
probation
continue to
for
pay
breaking
it.
into a car and attempting to steal it. And
Hey.
oh, I thought you motioned for me. Sorry. Sorry.
I don't do much around here. Let me do that.
Can I make a comment?
Mm-hmm.
He took the title out himself, filled it all out, and told me, this is what you do, you sign here. I know all about selling cars, buddy. It's all right. You can trust me. You're my buddy. And he told me that if I were to sign, I would still be the legal owner of the car. He would just have to do that to insure the car. And that's why I signed it, because I trusted him as my friend.
He's a slick liar, and he signed this bill of sale. Did you sign this bill of sale?
Yes. Sarah's a habitual liar herself. She followed the Grateful Dead concert
Is she
for
a
2
felon?
years.
Is she
No,
a convicted felon?
but she's an acid
That's
person.
just is she a convicted felon?
No, but she does acid.
When you went, listen to me, when you were arrested by the police and you appeared before the court for the first time, did you enter a plea? I'm speaking to you.
I refuse to answer that question.
Oh, God, listen to me. Don't sell anything to friends. You always wind up the short end of the stick, especially when you're dealing with people who have no moral fiber at all. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,900. Thank you.
she thought that she wanted to get all the money up front because her mom threatened to take her trust fund away from her.
No, that's not true.
I don't ever want to speak to her again. She's just a habitual liar. I hope she got what she wanted today.
Hammer did it to himself because it wasn't my choice to make Oliver not his friend.
But I'm not a liar, I'm not a habitual liar. Even after she said that, I still continued to make payments on the car.
The habitual lies, it was just too much to take.
Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
What's your first name?
Jamie.
And yours?
Margaret.
You're a mother?
Yes.
You're Miss Peltz?
Yes, I am.
Miss Peltz, you gave your daughter $500 in cash because there was an outstanding warrant for her, she thought, for back child support.
Correct.
She has children who are in the custody of who?
The biological father.
She can speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the biological father.
And how many children do you have?
5.
How old are you?
28.
Are all 5 children with the same father?
No, Your Honor.
Where are the 5 children?
When I got pregnant at 13, and I gave birth at 14, and I had 2 children by the age of 16.
Where are those 2 children?
One is with the adoptive father. My other child was murdered when adopted out.
At what age? 2? Okay. How many children are with their father?
3.
And you have a current child support order, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. You fell behind in your child support?
Yes.
Your mother gave you $500 so you could turn yourself in, according to you, and get the warrant lifted. According to your complaint, Mr. Kuhn got possession of this money order and didn't give it back to you. So you want that $500, and you also claim he has your property, clothes, pictures, etc., that he refused to return to you when he kicked you out of the house. You want a total of $1,200 from the defendant. Mr. Kuhn says never took your $500. You have your $500. That you have a drug problem, that's probably what you used it for. And as far as your property is concerned, he boxed it all up, put it on the porch. He has no idea what happened to it.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Kuhn, how old are you, sir?
48, I'm sorry.
So you're 20 years older than Jamie, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
The 2 of you lived together for a period of time? Uncross your hands, sir.
On and off for 3 years.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Does she work?
No, ma'am.
Did she work during the 3 years you were together?
Not one day.
So you were taking care of her and supporting her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any of her children lived with you at the time?
No, we fought tooth and nail to try to get some of these children back for her, but that was to no avail.
Okay. Tell me, Jamie, about this $500 money order.
My mother gave me $500.
Why?
And I turned it into...
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry. For my child support, there was a bench warrant that was issued, so I had, instead of paying $160, I had to pay $500 to get it dropped.
Why didn't you pay the child support?
I wasn't working at the time.
Why not?
I've had medical problems that have kept me from working.
What
and
kind of
also,
medical problems?
I had severe hemorrhaging that went on for months. Not only that, Mr. Kuhn was also very controlling in our relationship.
None of that's true, Your Honor.
Okay. So let's get back to the $500. Your mother gave you $500 in cash, right? Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Actually, I had the $500 turned into a money order, which I have the receipt.
Good. I'll take a look at that. So she gave you the $500 in cash. You got a money order. Who told you to get the money order?
I wanted to because I wanted to make sure it went to the child support. I didn't trust Mr. Kuhn because of his drug problem.
Just a second. No, Mr. Kuhn.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Okay. And go ahead.
We did go to turn myself in, and they said that they couldn't find any warrants on me, that I would have to go over to city. It wasn't a matter that I could take care of at that point. It was a Friday, so I wanted to contact my attorney the following Monday to find out what I needed to do to resolve the matter. I ended up going out of town with Mr. Kuhn to Fredonia. He had some work out there to do, and the $500 money order went with us both.
Yes.
Upon coming home from Fredonia...
Which was when?
The Friday following.
So you were there for a week?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Go ahead.
When we had returned home, actually it was Mother's Day, I had run some errands and came home with dinner, and since I wouldn't make his dinner plate, he proceeded to tear up the house and throw objects at me.
Not true, Your Honor.
I'm going to get to you, sir. Uncross your hands. Go ahead.
Upon that, I called my mother to come pick me up because I was afraid for my safety. I left all my belongings. I left with the clothes on my back and no shoes or nothing.
Okay.
And? From there, we contacted an officer the next day to follow me over so I can try to get my things. Mr. Kuhn had changed the locks. My house key no longer worked. We do know he was home. He would not answer the door.
I'm still not hearing about the $500 money order.
Mr. Kuhn was in possession of it. He told me he would not let me have it, that he didn't trust me, that he would return it to my mother.
When did he tell that to you?
We had a huge fight in Fredonia, and I asked for it back.
What was the fight about in Fredonia?
I do not recall what the fight was about.
Do you recall?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Want to tell me about it?
The fight in Fredonia was about the fact that she wanted to cash the money order and spend it to buy pills from a friend.
What kind of pills?
Lortabs in specific.
What are they for?
They are painkiller. They're Lortabs, Oxycontins. This has been a prevalent problem throughout the entire relationship.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me. If you don't want to be controlled by somebody, whether it's this man or your mother, you get your behind out of bed and you go and get a job.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jamie Cadell says ex-boyfriend John Kuhn stole her money order and won't return her belongings. John says Jamie used the money order to buy drugs.
Okay. You have a drug problem, Jamie?
In the past, I did, yes, Your Honor.
Well, in the past, I mean, you're talking about yesterday, a month ago, 6 months ago?
I've been clean for a month and a half, Your Honor.
Prior to the month and a half, you've had a drug problem. What kind of drugs?
Lortabs and meth, which John actually introduced me into.
But you've been with him for 3 years, according to him. Is that right, off and on?
About that, yes.
But you lost your children way before that. You lost your children as a result.
When I was very young.
You weren't very young. You were 25. According to you, you're 28 years old.
No.
Listen to me carefully. I'm talking about the 3 children that are with their biological father at this point.
Okay.
You visit with them? Is not an answer. Do you visit with them? The answer is either yes or no.
Yes.
When?
Right now, it's been suspended.
Okay. Has it been suspended because of your drug use?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I was a family court judge, madam. They don't preclude a parent, especially a mother in family court, from seeing her children unless there's a serious problem. So in Fredonia, when you were there with Mr. Kuhn, you had a fight. You said you don't remember what it was about. Mr. Kuhn says that you wanted to buy pills from a friend of his. So if you don't remember what the fight was about, I have to assume that he's telling me the truth.
Your Honor, he needed $50 because he had not gotten paid on his jobs. I told him he could use $50 out of the money order for food for us. He promised to pay me that back when he got paid on this job. It was not for drugs.
Ms. Kuhn, you were not working over the 3-year period, so I assume you were being supported, the two of you, since you were living together somehow. Were you being supported because Mr. Kuhn was working?
Working, but he was also very controlling.
I don't care about controlling. He was working.
Off and on, Your Honor.
And that's how you supported yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh.
And my mother.
What happened to the $500, sir?
I honestly don't know. The last time I saw the money order was on a Thursday evening in my wallet, and by Friday it was gone.
Where were you with it? Were you in Fredonia at the time?
We were in Fredonia at that time.
Now, you drove back when, sir? On Sunday?
Late Friday evening.
You drove back together?
Yes.
Did you ask her about it?
Yes, I did.
What'd she say?
It was none of my business. It was her money. She could do with it what she wanted to. It's what she told me.
What happened on Sunday when you got home?
Saturday, she slept all day, which was something that I was accustomed to. Sunday, about 5 o'clock, she woke up. We had purchased Mother's Day cards for our respective parents, and my mother's in a home. She's disabled. And I told her, my mother's not going anywhere. Get off your butt. Go see your mother. Give her your card. You know, take care of some things. I gave her $25 and told her to bring home some supper, since I obviously wasn't going to get any other way. 4 hours later, she showed up and she was high. She had cold fried chicken, 7 pieces of cold fried chicken, and said that they had cheated her out of the mashed potatoes, corn, or whatever that was supposed to go with it. I had been working at the house. I live on 3 acres, and I had grass to cut. And I was hot and I was tired, and she told me to fix my own damn plate, threw the chicken on the table, at which time I told her she needed to call her mother because I wasn't going to put up with it any longer. As far as her being in fear of her life, I don't know what that's about. She called her mother, and I told her mother over the phone she needed to come get her daughter, that I was through playing this game.
Did she come and get her?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
She came straight away.
Ms. Peltz, either on Sunday or Monday, did you go to Mr. Kuhn's house to pick up your daughter?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And at what time? Don't speak.
It was roughly probably around 5:36 in the evening.
And when you got there, was your daughter inside the house or outside of the house?
She was outside the house.
Where was she outside of the house?
Across the street at a convenience store.
And she got into the car and you left?
Correct.
When was the next time you went back to or telephoned Mr. Kuhn?
The day after we wanted to go get Jamie, my daughter's belongings. When I picked her up, all she had was the clothes on and no shoes. She wanted her court papers and her clothing and her personal belongings, which are pictures of my grandchildren.
Okay, so she wanted her clothing and some photographs.
Yes.
And what happened when you got there?
He wouldn't answer the door.
Okay. Do you have her clothing, sir?
No, ma'am, I do not.
What did you do with it?
They called me repeatedly on Monday, made threats, so on and so forth. On Tuesday the 11th, I called them and I told them about 7:30 at night that I was leaving and I would not be home for an entire 24-hour period, that their clothes
Who
were
did you
setting...
speak to?
I spoke twice to their answering machine because they know my phone number and they never answer the phone when I call. That's just their way they do things.
You put her clothes outside.
2 bags of clothes, 3 boxes of court papers that were generated from my computer at my expense anyway, but they were her court papers. Nevertheless, she got them. There was a few pictures, an 8x10 and a little bitty photo album about this big of snapshots. This person here happened to be there when I set the clothes out and made the first phone call.
Oh, really? Step up. Tell me your name.
Linda Gordon.
What were you doing at Mr. Kuhn's home?
I'd gotten off work at 6 o'clock that evening. My boss had asked me to please go talk to him about getting him to come down and do some work on our beach bathrooms.
How do you know him?
I used to be an employee of his years ago, and we then became friends.
Anything more than friends?
No, never.
Tell me about what you saw and heard.
When I'd gotten out there, I went out there, was going to speak with Jamie and John, because I had been visiting with them anyway, and see their new house. I hadn't been out there yet. And when I got there...
So you knew Miss Cadell as well?
Yes, ma'am. When I got there, John was in the middle of, packing some things up, and I had asked what was going on. He said she was leaving, and he would be more than happy to come in and give that bid, but he had to get this done first. I actually helped him pack some things. And it was approximately 7:30 to 8 o'clock or so when he did call and say he had packed them, put them out back in a breezeway in a little alcove so they wouldn't be bothered by the weather. And I proceeded to go back into Wichita. He said he'd meet me there.
Is there a key that's required to get into the breezeway?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
And you heard him make that phone call?
Yes, ma'am.
Is the breezeway shielded from the street so that you don't see it from the street?
You cannot see anything from the street. It is a garage breezeway behind the house. There's no way it can be seen. Nobody knew the clothes were there except her and I.
Your Honor, I have a PFA against him because of the incident that took place.
Let me see.
This is the second PFA I've had to take out on him,
the
Your
first one
Honor.
she dismissed. I have evidence here that she dismissed the first one when I paid her child support again.
Your Honor, he's bounced a lot of checks.
What?
I'm sorry. He bounces a lot of checks. He wrote a hot check to her.
Madam, I don't know why somebody who's 48 years old, who is seemingly a responsible guy, who has a job, who has a business, takes up with somebody 20 years his junior who's a drug abuser. I don't know why somebody who's, wrapped tight does that anyway. I think that there's something wrong with him. I don't want you to get me wrong. I think that anybody who does that is looking to control somebody else because that's the symbiotic relationship that you enjoy. You're a drug abuser, unemployed, got 5 kids. I'm speaking. He pays your child support, he takes care of your bills, and he has the ability to say to you, prepare a plate of food for me. Listen to me. That's the dynamics. If you don't want to be controlled by somebody, whether it's this man or your mother or any of the other fathers of your children, what you do is you get your behind out of bed and you go and get a job and support yourself and pay rent and pay food and make a car payment and pay insurance and take care of yourself. I have no sympathy for you, and I have no idea where your $500 is. I have no confidence that he didn't spend it, but I have equally no confidence that she didn't take it out and buy pills. You hearing me?
Yes.
Good.
I have a tracer on that.
We're having it. So, show just a second. If you have a tracer on it, do you have proof? Okay. If you have a tracer, do you have proof that he cashed this money order?
No, I've been waiting for it in the mail. No,
Listen, I don't care what's in the mail.
Listen to me very carefully, madam.
If you have a tracer and if you're able to show me that he cashed the money order...
It's on that paper.
On which paper?
The very first one that he given you.
Yes. Show me where it says that he cashed it.
No, back behind there is a tracer on the money order, and I'm waiting for the name.
Well, what does that do for me? What does that do for me? I'm the fact finder. The tracer could say she cashed it. The tracer could say he cashed it. Put your hand down. The tracer could say the drug dealer cashed it. It's a money order. It's a blank money order. Do you understand?
I understand that.
Okay, so I have no confidence that your daughter didn't take that money order, just like a person who's involved with drugs steals. Do you understand?
I understand, but he has a drug problem.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me, madam.
I'm listening.
Mr. Kuhn.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. That's just hilarious.
Don't, Nick. You're irritating me. I mean, as much as she is, you're irritating me.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't know where your $500 is, madam. I don't know whether your daughter took it or Mr. Kuhn took it. There is just as likely that she took it and spent it on pills as he took it and did something else with it. Do you understand?
I understand.
Very good. Put your hand down. As far as her property is concerned, I believe this witness that he packed up the property and put it in the breezeway. I believe that he did that. And I don't know who came and got it. I don't know whether she came and got it or you came and got it and you think you're going to put one over on me. I guarantee you're not. Now, you have a counterclaim, sir.
Yes, I do,
Your
Your Honor.
counterclaim is that you voluntarily paid her child support payments. $1,200.
That's right.
That's real nice of you. So why are you bothering me with it now?
Because I was promised that I would be paid back this money, and I can document the fact that I have paid. I have received...
Oh, I believe that you paid, sir. I believe that what you were doing is you were supporting Jamie.
I was keeping her out of jail. She went to jail 5 times.
Listen to me. Mr. Kuhn, all you have to do is... say, I'm leaving. Do you understand? Or you're leaving. Do you understand?
I did.
That's all you have to do, which is what you did. But then you can't come to court and sue for money. You paid her child support because you were living together and enjoying her companionship, whatever that was. You don't come to court and sue for it now. Do I make myself clear? You knew she wasn't working. You knew she had no capacity to pay you back.
She was supposed to get a job.
Well, she didn't, and she didn't in 3 years.
That's correct.
Right, good. So your counterclaim's dismissed. She was not alone. And I have no clue what happened to the $500, so her claim is dismissed. That's all.
Excuse me, step out.
I'm sorry that she's so upset. You know, I really did care about her.
Mr. Kuhn actually got me addicted to drugs. I'd never even tried drugs in my life until he came into my life.
There was just nothing I could do to help her.
He used it to get me addicted. I feel, you know, to keep a hold of a younger woman.
I would make my own dinner and clean my own house and wash my own clothes.
I just knew that he's a compulsive liar, and what comes around goes around, and God will get him back.
It's typical display for her.
Being with him was just very depressing, and I got addicted to the drugs.
I was praying that things would get better.
I would like to tell anybody else out there, stay away from it. It's bad.
अस्सलामुअलैकुम। तो आज की इस वीडियो में हम बनाने जा रहे हैं बहुत ही सिंपल, बहुत ही मज़ेदार गुलाब जामुन, वो भी घर पर। ये बहुत ही इजी और क्विक रेसिपी है और यहाँ मैं कोई भी खोया या कुछ भी जो है ना इंग्रेडिएंट स्पेशली यूज़ कर रही है। ये बहुत ही सिंपल से इंग्रेडिएंट से बन जाता है और स्पेशली हम इसमें मिल्क पाउडर यूज़ करेंगे। तो ये बहुत ही ईजी और क्विक रेसिपी है। तो चलिए रेसिपी स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो सबसे पहले यहाँ मैंने एक बाउल में 1 कप मिल्क पाउडर का ले लिया है। मिल्क पाउडर जो आप किसी भी अच्छे ब्रांड का यूज कर सकते हैं। उसके बाद मैंने हाफ कप मैदा लिया है। तो पहले हम ड्राई इंग्रेडिएंट को अच्छे से मिक्स कर लेंगे। उसके बाद मैंने तकरीबन 1 टेबलस्पून इसके अंदर बेकिंग पाउडर ऐड किया है। उसके बाद यहाँ पर तकरीबन 3 टेबलस्पून मैं घी के यूज कर रही हूँ। उसके बाद बेकिंग पाउडर मैंने अपने इंग्रेडिएंट में अच्छे से मिक्स कर दिया है। ध्यान रहे आपने ऑयल इस्तेमाल नहीं करना, आपने घी इस्तेमाल करना है। उसके बाद यहाँ पर मैंने 1/4 कप मिल्क का ऐड कर दिया। उसके बाद जो है हम अच्छे से आटा गूंद लेंगे तो ये हमारी डो कुछ इस तरह की बनेगी। यहाँ पर मैं शीरा रख दूंगी। तकरीबन मैंने 2 कप पानी ऐड की है। मैं 1 कप चीनी का ऐड करूंगी और यहाँ पर 3 से 4 इलायची ऐड की है। उसके बाद जो है बॉईल आने तक हमने इसे अच्छे से पकाना है। आंच आपने फुल रखनी है। जैसे एक बॉईल आए, चीनी मेल्ट हो जाए, उसके बाद हमारा शीरा बिल्कुल तैयार हो जाएगा। उसके बाद जो है तकरीबन डो मैंने 15 मिनट के लिए गूंद कर रख दी थी और यहाँ पर हमारी डो बिल्कुल तैयार है, आप देख सकते हैं। उसके बाद जो है हम अपने गुलाब जामुन को शेप देना स्टार्ट कर देंगे। शेप आप अपनी मर्जी की रख सकते हैं, जैसी भी आपको पसंद है। बिल्कुल गोल अच्छी लगती है तो आप बिल्कुल गोल रख सकते हैं या जैसी भी शेप आपको अच्छी लगती है, ये फुली आप पर डिपेंड करता है, आप अपने हिसाब से रख सकते हैं। तो मैं बिल्कुल यहाँ पर इन्हें गोल शेप दे रही हूँ कुछ इस तरह से। उसके बाद जो है मैंने अपने सारे गुलाब जामुन को शेप देकर यहाँ पर रख लिया था। तो यहाँ पर हमारे सारे गुलाब जामुन तैयार हो चुके हैं। उसके बाद मैंने एक पैन में ऑयल ले लिया है। ऑयल थोड़ा सा गर्म होने के बाद जो है हम सारे गुलाब जामुन इसमें ऐड कर देंगे। तो बस हल्की आंच पे इन्हें कुक करना है और उसके बाद हमारे ज़बरदस्त गुलाब जामुन रेडी हैं। यहाँ पर फ्राई होने के बाद मैंने गुलाब जामुन को एक बाउल में ऐड किया है और इसके बाद मैं इसके ऊपर शीरा पोर कर दूंगी। तो बस तकरीबन 10 से 15 मिनट हमने इन्हें शीरे में रखना है। उसके बाद हमारे ज़बरदस्त गुलाब जामुन बिल्कुल तैयार हो जाएंगे। बाकी इसकी गार्निशिंग आप अपने हिसाब से कर सकते हैं। अगर आप कोई भी नट्स वगैरह इसके ऊपर डालना चाहते हैं, मुझे बादाम अच्छे लगते हैं तो मैंने सिर्फ बादाम से गार्निशिंग की है। बाकी जो भी आपको अच्छा लगे आप इसके साथ ले सकते। तो ये थी हमारी गुलाब जामुन की बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त, बहुत ही इजी और क्विक रेसिपी। तो ये बनाने में मुझे तकरीबन 15 से 20 मिनट लगे हैं। तो आपने रेसिपी ज़रूर ट्राई करनी है और ये बहुत ही नरम, बहुत ही ज़्यादा सॉफ्ट बने हैं। तो मैं आपको ट्राई करके बता देती हूँ। तो ये एक्चुअली में बहुत ही डिलीशियस बने हैं। तो बस आपने रेसिपी को स्टेप बाय स्टेप फॉलो करना है तो आपके गुलाब जामुन भी इसी तरह बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त बनेंगे। तो बस आज की वीडियो बस यहीं तक। ऐसी मजीद ईजी और क्विक रेसिपीज़ के लिए हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दें। मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट किसी अच्छी सी रेसिपी के साथ। तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़।